You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Hello!
Welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a little old homespun artisanal podcast where three old pilgrims come together to the table of podcastery, and I now realize by the time this drops, Thanksgiving will have been last week, so it's tomorrow now. Yes, true. Play old games. So today we will be talking about RoboCop Versus The Terminator.
Yeah.
But before all that, other old guys, what you been up to?
Oh, well, this week is a short week. I got to take off today through the rest of the week, so I don't have to be back till Monday.
Girl, same.
Yeah, it's nice.
Feels good.
It's good. I'm happy about that, although I have that debilitating condition that makes me just keep thinking about the fact that Monday's getting ever closer. So I really, truly cannot enjoy my time off.
Yeah, that's rough.
Because I'm not good at being off work, because all I think about is the fact that I've got to go back to work, and I get depressed.
I get that. That normally kicks in for me on Sunday before Monday, but I don't know. On especially bad weeks, Saturday night, it'll creep in, and it's like, fuck, man, tomorrow's Sunday, and after Sunday is Monday.
Yep. I get like that easily. I should probably seek help, but whatever. I have a list of things.
Have a heart attack from stress. Be a man.
That's probably going to happen. I have a list of things that I've watched this week, and we'll go down that road, I guess. First and foremost is For All Mankind. I mentioned this last week. I'm into season 3 or late season 2. Really great. I'm really enjoying it. And if for those of you that don't remember, this is the alternate history of
Where the Soviets
land on the moon first, and causes things to change. Like, I don't know, maybe in a universe where they find out that RoboCop was responsible for Skynet and send Terminators back, or send someone back to try and stop him, and
Homie, I would love to watch like a Soviet version of RoboCop.
God, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. But yeah, still into it. Really, really good show on Apple TV Plus. I watched a movie this past week called Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain.
It's a long name.
And it's on Peacock, and Conan O'Brien is in it.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
It's about these three guys who...
Please don't destroy the what?
Please don't destroy, the treasure of Foggy Mountain. And it is about these three kind of best buddies, little bit kind of burnout guys who are just sort of doing their own thing, and they go to seek the treasure.
It's the three SNL guys.
Are
Please
those
Don't
guys...
Destroy is the name of their trio. Okay.
Oh, see, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what...
They're the ones doing the digital shorts now on SNL.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I don't watch SNL as much anymore, so I did not know that was a thing. So those three guys are the guys that are in this.
Yep.
And Conan O'Brien is in it. He's in it, which is rare.
Yeah, it's very rare.
Have a actual... He's he's got an actual role as a character in this movie. So I liked it. I thought it was funny. I'm going to give it 3 stars. Wizen Sage /Poochie says check it out. Thanks to Dave, I have started listening to The Dark Tower.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, again, is what I was going to say. Fuck. It's so good. I every time I listen to it, I hear things that I had forgotten, or it's just refreshing it in my mind. It's like I remember things that are coming, and I'm like, Jesus, the foreshadowing and the things that are there on subsequent reads / listens. So yeah, that's a thing.
I know you finished Gunslinger.
I'm into. Eddie hasn't gotten off the plane yet.
Okay.
In the Dark Tower,
Yeah.
or in the Drawing of the Three. So
I love that moment.
Yeah,
Like,
God.
I
had forgotten about that whole scene, and then when he wakes up, when he sees when Roland sees that he's on a plane, I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about this. It's it's
much.
good shit.
That whole book, man. It's like, because I know we're doing what you've done, but I've been reading still, and I'm on the Wastelands now. I'm probably about a quarter of the way through. I like it, but man, the Drawing of the Three was so. The Drawing of the Three, something bad was always happening. Like every moment of the Drawing of the Three, it felt like, oh, okay, something good happened, but something bad also happened, and it's like this seesaw, or saucy, throughout the whole book, and I really like that.
I don't know how familiar you are with Stephen King's work, his books, movies, things of that nature.
Yeah, I've read quite a bit. I wouldn't say I definitely haven't read everything.
So there's a lot, of course, that ties into the Dark Tower as a whole. And,
so I've heard.
And, The Stand. There's a really good book called Insomnia that I would recommend you read after you finished this.
What book is Pierre Callahan from?
Is what?
Callahan. He's from another, The Priest.
Oh, that's Salem's Lot.
Salem's Lot, okay.
And and then there's From a Buick 8, which was kind of a stupid book.
Yeah, I didn't like it. But I might have liked it more if I'd read The Dark Tower before.
Nah, it still sucked. And The Mist is another really, it ties in a little bit. And, of course, The Stand, I think I said.
Yep.
But there's remnants of everything. You'll run across things in these books that directly refer to a lot of his other work, and how it all sort of, whether it ties in directly or whether it's like kind of tertiary to some little event that might have happened that didn't have any real bearing on a story or this, that, and the other. It's all in there as you get further through. So yeah, again, super glad I started listening to that one again, and I'm anxious to get through them again. I'm especially anxious to get through Wizard and Glass and get Song of Susanna, Wolves of the Calla, and The Dark Tower, because I really have only gone through those like once, and that was I haven't listened to them.
You read those,
and I read those as they were published, and I haven't picked them up since, because usually I'll get through Wizard and Glass and then stop reading and don't go any farther.
That's kind of how I am with in Final Fantasy VI. Always, it's like I get through the Haunted Forest, and it's like, okay, good stopping point.
Yeah, and Wizard and Glass really naturally is a good stopping point, because that's where he stopped until he picked it back up later. So, yeah, I'm anxious to get to those and read those. I remember little bits and pieces, and I do remember the ending of the series, the end of the Dark Tower, book 7. But the stuff in between Wizard and Glass and like the end is kind of a blur. So yeah, I'm excited to get back to that.
Cool, man. I'm glad you're reading them again.
You just said it, and I remembered Wind Through the Keyhole. Did you read?
I did read Wind Through the Keyhole, and it's sort of an add-on. It was I need to go through that one again. It's a short little thing, but it's a story based in that universe.
Yeah, it happens between 4 and 5.
Yeah. So I'll reread that one as well. But it's a short book. It's not like anywhere near the length of the other books.
I'm just gonna read all the Dark Tower books first.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that. And the only reason I say that is because when I was doing Game of Thrones, there's a point where it was like, okay, I'm gonna read Dunk and Egg.
Yeah, I did that too.
I tried in like
and then
30 minutes. I was like,
It kind of stopped me from reading the rest of the books, honestly,
dude,
because I don't like this.
I went through the story of the Targaryens, and it reads like the fucking Bible.
Yeah,
it's awful. Like, it's so dull.
Trying to read the
Similarians.
Yeah, the whole book is like Exodus. You know,
gotta ram your goat.
Begat. Oh my God, it was too much, and I already have sort of beef with George R.R. Martin as it is.
Yeah, sure.
And to see him wasting my time with that and not writing these last books really upset me.
So what is the Targaryen thing? Is that like something he did recently?
It was done after. I don't know the sequence of how it was written, but I know it was written since the last book he published.
Gotcha.
Than the main series. Mm-hmm. And it's just a fucking history of the Targaryens. It has absolutely no bearing on
TV
anything.
Series to
probably. So,
and I totally forgot about Little Sisters of Eluria. That was actually really good.
Which one was that one?
It precedes The Gunslinger, where Roland meets the three sisters.
I don't know if I've read that one.
It's pretty good.
Okay,
it's shorter than The Gunslinger, but
I'll put that on my list. That's a good recommend. I'm out of touch. I'm the guy that I read all the main books, and after I put down the last book, I just sort of stepped away. Mm-hmm. I didn't stick with it or read any of these comics or anything. I just keep reading those books over and over. I'm a bit of a purist, I guess, when it comes to that. But that does sound really interesting. But I don't want to get too much into that because I actually really do want to have a series of Patreon episodes with you two where we discuss Dark Tower at length. I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, man.
Discord seemed pretty excited for it. And then Michelle messaged me like, "Oh my God!"
Oh yeah, I knew she would be pumped.
Yeah, I figured.
So I have one more thing on my list. I picked up, of course, the Steam Autumn Sale is on. It has begun, and by this point, it's been going for a week as of the airing of this episode. But I jumped in, bought a couple little games from a deck, which is now obsolete.
I wouldn't say that.
I have this thing that I do. It's called sarcasm. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but
no.
I also didn't get that. I got sour grapes, not sarcasm.
Same.
I'm at about a 6 right now.
Okay.
So that's why I probably sound a little, disinterested.
Josh. A little below Josh Nance.
Yeah. Valve betrayed me and everyone. I've just recently bought my Steam Deck, which I still love, and I think it's a wonderful machine. I spent several hours with it last night. It's a great device. It's one of the best video game purchases I've ever made. I bought it predicated on the concept that Valve had said we're not going to release a new version of the Steam Deck anytime soon.
For years.
For a couple of years tops. And just the other day, they released a brand new version of the Steam Deck that has an OLED screen, a better battery, a longer charging cable, better Wi-Fi, better Bluetooth, and better cooling. And basically all of the sort of things that I would have made in a list of things that I would change if I could about the Steam Deck.
Sure.
And if I had any inkling that they were legitimately going to do it, it was kind of like when the producers of Lost said they're definitely not dead.
Right.
It's not purgatory.
It's not purgatory. They're alive. Yeah, that was a lie. And so is the fact that when Valve said they weren't going to put out... So they come back and they said, well, we meant one with better physical specs like hardware, RAM, CPU. That's what we meant. And I'm thinking, no, this is a different, better version of the Steam Deck. So I'm lamenting the fact that I didn't know about it, because if I had known it was going to come out, as early as November, I would have held off and saved my money
Which
and
is
bought
why
it.
we didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. They want me to go buy another one, or at least try to sell the one I have and then pay the difference to make up for it. I'm not going to do that.
I thought about it.
I've thought about it a lot.
It's not worth the $200 gap.
I don't think
The
so.
shareholders needed another boat. Ian.
Yes, they do. Well,
but the battery life's the big one for me, because it's like the OLED screen. Don't get me wrong, I like an OLED screen.
I love it too, but the battery and the fact that the charging cable is literally 2 feet longer.
Yeah, but you can get another charging.
Nope,
cable.
I don't want another charging cable. I want a longer one from Valve. I want a Valve charging cable that's 2 meters longer.
I don't want a new dick. I want you to have a bigger dick.
Exactly. All of these things can be fixed. All of these things can be fixed. Anyway, one of the games I picked up, I'm not going to name all the games I picked up.
Oh, you picked up a lot.
Just a couple. But the one that I picked up that I wasn't going to talk about, but then I played it, found myself playing it for like 3 hours last night. I couldn't put it down. It's this side scroller called Flip Witch.
Yeah.
It's called Flip Witch Forbidden Sex Hex.
Yeah.
And it's a side scroller pixel art kind of game, and it's sexy. When you die, you're
How
getting
sexy?
like when you. I'll tell you when
How
you,
hexy.
how hexy when you die.
Yeah.
It shows you getting railed by goblins,
Right.
kind of
Okay.
thing.
That's
Right.
kinda what I figured
That
we
sort
were-
of thing. But what's neat about it, and I thought it was on sale for like $13.50 on Steam.
Yeah.
It was really not even marked down that much. I think normally it's only like $15. But
Twist my arm.
it's a Metroidvania style game, and the whole the gimmick. First of all, the graphics are great. The controls are great. They're easy to understand. It's fun. It's smooth as butter on the Steam Deck. It's not certified for Steam Deck yet, because I think it's a fairly new game. Low profile. It didn't even get the fans hot. It's just a great.
Doesn't sound very sexy.
It's pretty sexy.
Get the fans hot.
It keeps it at about a 6. No,
Oh, so it's 60.
it's 60. So I got it because it had overwhelmingly positive reviews.
That's good.
And for like sexy sex
Right.
games, it's usually that doesn't really matter. Why do we buy sex games? To jerk off to.
Goblin fucks.
This one, I was like, well, it's got these ridiculously good reviews, and all the reviews were like, I went into this thinking this was going to be some stupid little game, and I really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. It's challenging. It's like not as challenging as, say, Cuphead, but it's not boring, and it's not even as hard as like Hollow Knight. It's not like that difficult, but it's difficult enough to be fun. And there is an easy and a normal mode if you want to play it, and I think you can step it. It's a little rough around the edges, like the menu screen is a little bit wonky sometimes, like when you go into your inventory and stuff. There's some polish that could come maybe in future updates, I think. But I've really had a good time with this game, so it's kind of you're a witch, and you are going out in the world to find to open up the pathway to all these different cities where goblins have taken over, and you've got to rescue all of the bosses are like holding the goddesses or whatever of the different zones prisoner, and you got to free them, get all these keys, and then you go to the castle and you fight the big bad, standard fare kind of stuff. But the trick is the hook of this game. Also, it has excellent sound and music. The music is fantastic in this. The trick is that you go the first thing you do is you go into this one place and you try to find what's called a fairy bubble to bring back to your witch boss, I guess, or whatever. And you go fight your way through, and then you get the bubble and you take it back to her, and then she gives you the ability to become a flip witch. Which means you can change genders.
You're submissive and
and
that's a flip switch.
That's a flip switch, right? Thank you for clarifying that, Dave. So you change genders, so you can pull the trigger and you're a boy, and you pull it again, you're a girl.
What if you hold them both at the same time?
There's only one trigger, so there's no holding it.
Gotcha.
And you pick up various weapons and power-ups and stuff. I haven't gotten really that far into it because I'm terrible at games like this, so I had to redo a lot of stuff. Right. Well, I'll tell you that there's not a whole... I mean, there's been way like adulty games than this, but it's not lacking in that department, but mostly it's just a really good game. And you have to like rescue, like at one point you rescue a mimic, but you don't, it's obviously a fucking mimic. But when you get the key is shaped like a dick, and you got to put the key in the hole and move it back and forth, and eventually the door opens and this half zombified whatever comes out, and she's like, since you set me free, I won't possess you, but you should get out of here while you still can. And of course she's got great big boobs, and
the mimic does
the thing inside the mimic. It's not really a mimic, I guess, but it's like they her name is Mimi, for God's sake. So I mean, it's definitely where that kind of comes from. But so there's little stuff like that. When you save people, they'll show you their boobs and stuff. It's stuff like that. And then
so it's a simulator.
Yeah. Well, you get this. You find these little coins throughout the game that you can use in these little machines that have the little plastic bubble, like a toy vending machine at the grocery store, and you can collect those that comes out. They're little like gifts of girl riding on a dildo or something. I don't know. It's just stuff like that.
Oh, so is it like
they're like it's like you literally you put the coin in the machine and turn the handle, and the big plastic bubble comes out, and when you open it, it's got something in it like a toy, but it's like these collectible animated.
So it goes into like a collection?
Yeah, it goes into your collection. And there's different costumes you can buy that would get you different quests, and there's a lot to it.
Sounds like there's a lot.
It's kind of a good value for $13.50 or whatever. Or even 15. For $15, it's worth it. I think so. Yeah. I don't know, but it wasn't even like Steam hasn't even begun to look at it yet for the Steam Deck. And I given what I know about it, I just said fuck it and put it on there, and it ran like flawlessly. I have not had any issues running this game, so it's definitely a good one for the deck. Maybe not such a good one to play in public, unless you just aren't concerned with that kind of thing. But that one was a surprise, so I thought I'd bring it up and mention that if anyone's interested. It's on sale right now, along with several other things on the Steam store for the autumn sale. And that is all I've got this week.
Yeah, I bought We Love Katamari reroll because I hadn't seen that one go on sale.
What's it go for now?
Shit,
I can look. We talked about that game, and I was interested in trying it out, but I didn't think about it last night when I was looking at other games.
And I might be misspeaking because I get the first Katamari game and the second Katamari game mixed up all the time. I get the titles mixed up. I got the second one. The second one just recently went on sale, and I hadn't seen it go on sale before. And I like Katamari, but I didn't want to pay full price. Because I don't know, man. I'm weird about remastered games, I guess. Unless it's like a whole new thing. like the Super Mario RPG on the Switch. I know people love it and they say it's great, but it had the same attitude about it as I do Link's Awakening when it was remade.
Right.
I love Link's Awakening. I have not played the remake, and I don't really want to, I guess, because I think I don't know, man.
Link's Awakening was good for me because I never did play it. So playing the remastered version wasn't a problem.
Sure.
There wasn't a lack of a nostalgia factor there. It's just what I ended up playing.
Yeah, I think it's just a personal preference thing for me. Because I know people who love the original on Game Boy, Link's Awakening on Game Boy, and love the remake. And it's like, that's awesome. But it just doesn't, I don't know. Remakes like that really don't appeal to me a whole lot.
As someone who played them both, I enjoyed the Game Boy version, the Game Boy Color version better. I feel like that's still I love the remake. There's still something about the way it plays that just isn't quite the same. But I feel like the Game Boy Color version is still the definitive version.
I'll buy a remaster. I think a lot of times I'll buy a remaster over a remake. Like the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, I haven't played all of them, but I really like those. Mm-hmm. Not a whole lot has changed in those, you know? I don't know if it's a jump from 2D to 3D. Like, I don't know if that's part of it. And obviously, like with Super Mario RPG, I feel like that's a better fit for 3D.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's all top-down isometric in the battles and stuff. And
the
Super Nintendo was, trying to emulate 3D graphics. So that totally makes sense. But yeah, man, it's just one where it's just like, anytime something like that is announced, it's kind of like, I wish there was just something new. How about a new Super Mario RPG? You know what I mean? Like take that engine that you made for the remake, and then like just do a new one.
Then I'll pay $60 for it.
Right. That's the other thing, man. I feel like if they were like $30,
yep.
Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I'm interested in that. But yeah, $60, man. I don't know, dude. I feel like it's a big ask.
That is a big ask.
I haven't even gotten it, and that's why.
Yeah. And that's I'd be lying if I'd said it didn't have something to do with why I didn't even consider Link's Awakening, because it's like, yeah, man, $60, even at $40, it's like I don't know, man. Yeah. That's like a $30. It's like a $30 deal for me. But anyway, I don't even know how I got on that. Oh, from Katamari. Yeah. I got the sequel remaster of Katamari. And I haven't played it yet. I've got this bad habit recently, especially of like buying video games, and then I feel good about buying them, and then it's like, okay, that's done. Mm-hmm. Now I won't play it, and then something else will go on sale, and I'll be like, yes, I will buy this, get a good deal, feel good about it.
I have a whole, much like a lot of people, I have a whole library of Steam games, and I bet I've played 30% of them.
Yeah.
Like in any real capacity, just because I'm that way too. It's like, oh shit, that's cheap. I'll buy that because I thought about buying it 6 months ago, and now it's $3 less than it was. So I'll go ahead and I'll buy that for $1.
I'd buy that for $1.
Hey,
Humble bundles are what made my Steam library fucking explode.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't buy Humble bundles.
I don't know. I haven't looked at one in forever.
I get the emails, but usually I don't want the monthly bundle.
Yep.
And that's the thing that they really push. And I don't know. There's just so much that I subscribe to on a monthly basis. And a lot of times I already own some of the games that are in the monthly bundles. And it's just kind of like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. Yep.
Yeah. So, but I watched Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Oh, yeah. I've been meaning to start that. How is it?
I loved it.
Good.
I have seen some thumbnails on YouTube that are, I guess, hot takes, maybe.
Okay.
Or it's just because I didn't watch the videos, because it's like, I don't know. You just scroll through YouTube and you see thumbnails, and they've got like, I guess they've got the text on the thumbnail, and it's like, Scott Pilgrim tricked us, and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, that sounds like something I'm not going to watch.
Yeah.
That sounds like somebody who expected one thing very, very much, wanted it very much, and did not get that. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion, of course, but I went into this. I don't want to spoil anything, but I went into Scott Pilgrim Takes Off expecting it to be an animated adaptation of the graphic novels.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which, the movie was based on those graphic novels. So yeah, in a sense. and it starts off that way, and then it goes on a divergent path.
Cool. Give me a new story.
And I think that's cool. And it's do you guys? I'm not gonna spoil anything like major, but if you don't want me to talk about anything, if you want to be completely surprised, well, I can just go to my next thing.
I mean, I want to watch it, but I also am interested in what you have to say, so I'm good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it too, regardless.
This won't spoil anything major. It's just that I will say this, and if anybody listening cares, skip ahead 30 seconds. This follows Ramona Flowers way more than Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, I'm good with that.
That was a problem I had with
I'm
the books.
really good with
Who the
that.
fuck is Ramona? Why? Yeah.
And it fleshes her out, and I think it does a really, really good job of like showing why somebody like her would be interested in someone like Scott. So it does a really good job of that.
I love it. I'm excited for that. That makes me happy to know that that's what's coming, because honestly, this more of the same culture doesn't jive with me. I like fresh stuff.
Yeah,
and I like to see things that, that we haven't seen and get backstory that we haven't got. I'm not all about backstory. I don't feel like I ever really needed Boba Fett's backstory, but it was cool, I guess. I could have slept fine without it. But there is some things, like what you said about Ramona, that I would love to know more about that character, because she was so integral to what I know about Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
So
it's cool. I liked it. I recommend it. Nikki and I watched it all in one night.
how many are there?
I think like 8 episodes.
Are they like half hour?
Yeah, they're pretty
that's
short.
Cool. Yeah. I'll knock that out in a day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she and I don't really binge stuff,
Right?
And we watched it all in one evening. So
sweet.
I think it's pretty funny. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
We got the same voices, right? The same.
That's what's really awesome.
I heard that they were all coming back.
Yeah, they got the whole cast.
That's
back,
amazing.
which is amazing.
That actually is.
They did that table read for COVID, so they're all cool and on board with the project, which makes me happy.
I didn't know
It's
they
just
did that.
nice that they can do that, because everybody that was in that movie at one point has gotten huge.
Oh, yeah.
In some way or shape or form.
Yep.
They've gone off and their careers have all gotten better. And, the drummer, she was in the drummer for Sex Bomb, went on to be a major character in Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, really?
And a very major character in
Cool.
that show.
Yeah.
And it was so
Yeah,
cool
Kim Pine.
when she jumped in and I saw her on that show. I was like, yes, because I just love seeing all these people continuing to do well.
Yeah.
And so, that's awesome that they're
And
all
then
back.
like a quarter of the cast makes millions in Marvel movies.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I haven't been, other than like YouTube thumbnails, I don't know what anyone's opinion is on it. And I like that. The older I get, the more I'm like, I don't care what other people think about it, because I really like this a lot. And if someone hates it, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's fine.
That doesn't affect how much I like it.
Oh, you hated it? Gosh, I guess I have to hate it now too.
Right.
No, fuck that.
There's lots of cameos in it.
Sweet.
So that was fun too, going through and like, that voice sounds familiar. Who is that? And
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty good at picking out people's voices, so I'm excited to give that a go.
There's one, I'm not going to spoil who they are, but there's one I'll ask you after you watched it if you got it.
I will have it watched by the time we meet again.
Cool.
For sure.
Yeah, but I loved it. I thought it was
Danny
great.
DeVito plays the cartoon fox.
The cartoon fox. That's our cat. Whatever.
Cat, yeah.
That would be great. Yeah, Danny DeVito plays a Moogle.
Dude, that. Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I liked it a lot. Other than that, man, I've really just been working through. I finished, obviously, I mentioned earlier, the Drawing of the Three, and started The Wastelands and enjoying that. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. And
Oh my Lord.
there's already been a bit of a twist, and
Yep.
some things are being, I don't know, probably foolish to say resolved, but some things are, I guess, developing that I had questions about, where it's like, okay, good. I'm glad this wasn't forgotten about.
The last several chapters of that book
There's questions I want to ask you, but I don't remember what falls where. So I'm just keeping my mouth shut.
Same.
I kind of went dark a little on Discord because when I read people talking about it, I was like, I'm out, and I closed it. I just closed Discord, and it was like, I don't want anything spoiled.
Yeah.
For those of you who are listening to this now,
I know.
Please, not everyone has read The Dark Tower. Let's keep that stuff to private channels for the time being, or elsewise you lose the ability to contact Dave on Discord.
I got the fuck out because no one was saying anything spoilery as far as I know. But
you didn't want it to be.
When I saw people, it's like I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
you don't want any fucking part of that series spoiled
because that's kind of the point of it. I feel like it's so I don't know. It's plot driven.
It's a cliffhanger serial. It's like serial movies. It's like those weekly cliffhanger movies that it's literally that's what he based this on.
Right.
That was part of his
that makes sense
development process.
That tracks. And it's like that's why I like reading it. I like reading it to find out what happens.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how they would put butts in seats every week in those dime movies. Those, they got to get back. We got to know what guy will be hanging off the cliff. Literally, that's why they call him a cliffhanger. And they got to get him back. Got to get him in the seat. So
I'm loving it. I hope that it gets to the point where it got to in the drawing in the 3, where it's like there's an A line and a B line going, and the way he weaves them together so that there's a cliffhanger in the A plot, and then the B plot kicks in, and then there's a cliffhanger in the B plot, and then the A plot picks back up, and it's like I love that shit because it's like constantly like something's happening. And
no, I'm with you. I am excited. I'm excited for you to get through them. I'm excited for us to sit down and have.
I want to talk about it.
Lengthy discussion. I want to have an episode per book minimum.
Yeah, 100%.
And if give us some feedback. If you're on the Discord, bit.ly/TADPOG Discord, tastethepiss.com.
Taste the piss.
Or is it Piss Tasters?
Piss the taste.
Piss the Tasters. One of those
Try
things.
them both.
Listen to the closer, the pre-recorded closer at the end of the show. It has it in there, and it'll be right. Or I could look at my notes. Either way, I would like feedback from the audience. Would you like us to do this in the regular, some of this maybe in the regular feed, or maybe we're just going to put it all on Patreon, and if you want to hear it, give us $1.
Yeah.
But I love this.
For the gunslinger we put on the main feed, and then all the rest is on Patreon. We'll
leave them hanging.
Yeah.
That's a solid business plan.
Their vagina.
It's a solid business plan, Tyler. That's the kind of outside the box.
Joke's on you. My vagina's already been shot.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I've just been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14. Back in that. Because of Shangri-La Frontier.
Okay.
What making me want to play an MMO. I'm through the main Stormblood stuff, which was an expansion from like 2018.
Okay.
And I'm into like the post Stormblood stuff that kind of like goes between. It's like the additional content that like bridges between expansions.
The DLC's DLC.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that I don't like. I don't like the stuff that's like, because it all feels like falling action, and it's like, okay, all right, oh, cool. I just ended on this big crescendo, and now it's like, all right, so how are we going to set up the politics for this new nation? It's like, fuck this.
Who wants to get together a party of 30 to go get the credits? All right.
Right?
It was Phantom Menace.
Yeah, right. The negotiations were.
We have an hour of Senate negotiations.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, but I could see like in the moment, like when it's released, it's like, new content. But now when it's like 5 fucking years after the fact, it's like, yeah, cool. I am required to do these patches until the next expansion that I want to get into. So, but I've been playing Samurai after doing Black Mage for a bit, and yeah, it's been fun.
Cool. Excellent. I did want to mention one thing that I forgot to say when I was talking earlier. I'm going to dip my pinky finger back into the horror hole.
Ooh.
Just a pinky.
Ooh.
Just a pinky, because I talked about this last year, and I'm going to bring it up again. You know, there's several people that just think that get really mad whenever you refer to Die Hard as a Christmas movie. It's this thing now where it's become this passive-aggressive statement that you say to people to see if they're going to get mad at you for saying it, and then you know everything you need to know about them. But if you are one of those people, or if you're not, and you want a really great Christmas movie that is absolutely paying homage to Die Hard, but is an literal Christmas movie. I mentioned this last year. It's called Violent Night.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about this.
David Harbour plays Santa
Hellboy.
Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he plays Santa Claus. Also, the guy from Stranger Things is how I know him the most. But
he was in that.
He was in that. He plays Santa Claus, and he is at a house. He goes to a house to drop off his. He's disenchanted, of course. He's losing his mojo, drunk all the time, you know. But he still does his job, and there's a reason that he is Santa, and they kind of get into that in the movie, which is, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's fucking
Hope it involves
amazing.
Tim Allen.
Does not. I will.
He and
spoil
Roseanne
that.
have a new show coming out.
What?
Yeah.
I had heard about this.
Okay.
What a
What's so funny
pairing.
about it? Let me pull it
Yikes.
up.
So while he's
It's a
pulling that
news
up,
show.
Santa finds himself at this house where armed men, it's a rich mansion house, and armed men come to take something from the people that live there and their family. And chaos ensues. That's all I got. That's all I always say, is because I don't want to spoil anything.
Right, yeah.
But this is a 5-star. Wiz and Sage says, do not miss this. I watched it again today, and I had forgotten how good it was.
Okay.
It is the epitome of an excellent, the epitome of an excellent action-based,
the most good.
Right.
Yeah.
Christmas movie.
Cool.
I cannot recommend
All
it
right.
highly.
It's on my list.
highly
That and the
enough.
menu. They're there. The menu's been in my head.
If you took some time and watched both of those in a day, you would have found yourself very cinematically satisfied.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
But Violent Night, particularly obviously this time of year,
Right.
is truly one. It's truly one of my new favorites, and
Good for 8-year-olds?
not. There's an 8-year-old in it,
Oh, okay.
so in that way, I guess.
All right.
But no,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just depends. Like,
Man.
I wouldn't have a problem letting Cohen watch this.
Yeah.
But he's seen so much shit at our house that
Right.
we leave shit on, and we're like, if you can't handle it, go to your room.
Yeah.
Don't say those words. Don't do those things. And
Right.
if you can't handle it, go to your room and play or something. And
Right.
he's
This is the high speech.
yeah, yes, exactly. Thank you, Cy. He has been pretty good with that. And, of course, with permission, we always talk to his parents and stuff. So this one, I wouldn't care if he saw it. But there are things, I tell you what, it's not the language or the violence that would
I gotcha.
make me want them to not see it.
Uh-huh.
And I think maybe, I don't even want to say it out loud, but I think you probably know
Yeah, I do.
what I'm referring to.
I do. Yeah, we're in a gray area there in that department right now.
And there's, and I don't want, I understand that that's coming probably sooner rather than later. I don't want that to be a discussion that we have.
Yeah.
So that literally that's the thing I'm worried about him seeing over the violence.
Yeah.
Which is severe. So.
Man, it's weird you say, that he this isn't weird. What's weird is how I relate to it. When you say that that Cohen could handle it, is because, man, just recently Henry wanted to play some like racing game that's like, I don't want to tell him it's trash, but it's trash. So I'm trying to find other things that we could play together.
You told us about this racing game, I think.
Is it the Roblox racing game?
Oh, okay.
The Roblox one is like, that's the trashiest.
He wants
trash.
Garfield kart so badly.
Hey, that's a good game.
the Garfield. And the Roblox one is the epitome of trash.
It is the epitome of trash for sure.
The epitome. Epitome is the worst.
Oh, I got you.
Right.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that scale.
Learn English, you guys.
God, speak to kings.
Also, Snopes told me I got trolled. It was an internet rumor.
The Roseanne Tim
Allen. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's going to be willed into existence now.
Probably.
Because, it's going to be like, oh, this caught on. This could work,
Or,
money?
that celebrity is probably going to die, and then they die.
Yeah, the curse.
Yeah. So, I don't know how excited I would be about a Tim Allen, Roseanne Barr
because it was
TV
supposed to be
show.
a Fox News talk show.
Oh,
That's what it was rumored to be.
I could handle.
But Tim Allen apparently is very opposed to the January 6th attacks, so probably wouldn't fly as conservative as he is. Yep.
I'm glad to hear that.
You have one liberal belief? Nah, you're out, dog.
But hearing you talk about how you think that Cohen could handle Violent Night reminded me of like when I was looking for a game that we could play together. Chivalry 2 was on Xbox Game Pass. It's like, dude, I love Chivalry.
I don't know this one.
So Chivalry is like a medieval combat game where you've got like, I don't know, like around like 34 players fighting each other with like swords.
Chivalrously.
And well, no. Despite the title, very unchivalrously.
Right.
With swords and like war hammers and bows. And
You're not like opening up
crossbows.
doors for each other and helping each other on horses.
Extremely rude to each other.
Well, rudery too.
And I was like, dude, Chivalry 2 is on Game Pass. It's like, I love the first one. And he was like, well, what is it? I said, let me pull it up on YouTube. And it is like the bloodiest, like glorious. And so, of course, he's like, yeah.
Hell yeah, Dad.
Hell yeah,
Dad.
Dad a jump?
That a chick? That's the guy that reads the book.
Frank Muller?
Yes.
Yeah.
When he does that, I'd forgotten about all that, like his voices.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, I did not know what you guys were talking about when you said Cuthbert.
Oh.
God, that drives me crazy.
Oh, yeah, it drives me up the wall.
Anyway, sorry,
I don't know
Chivalry.
how it's spelled because I haven't
It's
read
spelled-
it.
It's spelled
Cuthbert.
Cuthbert.
C-U-T-H,
like saint.
like, yeah.
Yeah, he's. I don't know why he's pronouncing it that way.
Yeah.
And it bugs the shit out of me, but that's not the point. The point here is chivalry.
Chivalry. So
Rudery.
he was like, man,
Unchivalrous.
he's like, I'm going to install it. And I'm like, he runs to his room and I'm like, oh, God, did I just fuck up real bad? And I'm thinking to myself, I know he can handle it. If it's anything like Chivalry 1, it's like, it's violent, but I mean, it's like, he's 8. And it's like, he hasn't watched a lot of that stuff, but he's 8 and he has an imagination. You know
Right,
what I mean?
sure.
So it's like, so he's like, he comes back, he's like, I can't, you gotta like put your password in. And so I go in and I sit down, I'm like, fuck, this is right. I didn't say fuck. But I was like,
Fuck, dog.
This fucking game is
shit,
fucked.
son.
Shit, literal son.
But I'm thinking, I'm like, fuck, this is rated M.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then conversely,
Hello.
like, oh, he's 8. He's gonna get his ass fucking beat and not see anything.
Dude, that you're not wrong. That did also cross my mind because it's like I'm also thinking about if he starts playing this. I know how difficult it is to start playing that game because, like, I don't know if he'd make it to the tutorial because if it's anything like Chivalry 1, you start out the game and you're in this like shitty encampment and like a guy comes up to you and he's like, let me teach you how to shoot a bow. And then you spend like 5 minutes like learn. It's like, I don't think he has the patience.
Finally, you're awake.
Right? Yeah. So I'm like, well, fuck. And I'm sitting down. I'm like, oh, I mean, this is rated M for mature. I got to be honest with you. I think you could probably handle it, but I don't feel good about like giving you the keys to an M game when you're 8 years old.
Yeah.
It's like a test. Titties. Don't laugh.
Right? No, wait, do laugh. I feel like that's the appropriate response right now. He's salivating and rubbing his hands together.
All right, but you're
Yes.
very good.
Yes, titties. Say more words, Dad.
Dad, are there goblins in this game? And when they kill me, what do they do to me?
Son, I'm going to introduce you to a concept called running a train.
I was watching Uncle Ian play Flip Witch. Those goblins were just going to town.
Forbidden sex hex. Flip witch,
Sex hex.
forbidden sex hex.
The forbidden part's what makes it so good.
It's value.
Yeah.
Forbidden value.
Yeah. So I didn't give him the password for that.
Yeah.
Sorry, son. We played Deep Rock Galactic instead, and he did not like it.
Well, that one special thing will come.
Yeah.
It'll show its face. The universe will present it to you when the time comes.
Yeah. He wants a BB gun.
A red rider.
Shoot his eye out.
I know, right? And
With a compass
man,
in the stock and this thing that tells time.
he's not ready.
No.
And I
it's
told him
not.
that. I was like, "You're not ready, man." Like, but
Melissa's dad got Kenna BB gun 4 years ago.
Damn. When she was 4?
Yeah. That is back there in the garage.
right.
Goodness sake.
Yeah, man, I told him, I was like, if you got one soon, what would happen is it would be mine. And then when you want to shoot it, you would come talk to me, and then I would have to go outside with you. And we
I
would
will
do
have
that.
broken it from shooting.
Right? Fucking random ass dogs coming in our yard.
Frogs in the pool. Uh-uh.
No, those motherfuckers. That pool's gone. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. That thing's been gone for like 3-4 years now. Thank God.
I got my BB gun when I was his age.
Yeah. You could probably handle it. And he probably honestly could, but it's just like, I was just like, man, there's just some stuff I got to teach you before
Yeah.
you have a BB gun.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, let's start. And it's like, okay. And then we started. And, we talk about how, like, you don't point a gun at something unless you plan on shooting that thing and potentially killing that thing.
Yes.
And, like, the look on his face was like,
That's real though.
Yeah.
That's a real.
Remember the face
That's
of
a
your
hard.
father.
Yes, you
Right.
must.
Yeah, I don't
remember
shoot
the
with my
face
hand.
I shoot with- All right, I want you to repeat these 3 things,
right.
and I want you to be able to recite them on
I
command.
gotta cut off 2 of your fingers.
And your toe. Come here.
Put on this boot.
I put a little satellite dish on our dog's head.
I remember being in elementary school, like Shake's grandfather got him a BB gun. And we went out behind his house. He was like, yeah, I want to shoot a bird. I was like, okay. So we went out for like 2 days trying to shoot a bird. Never even got fucking close. Until like we're about to go in. He sees a bird in a tree, shoots it, hits it, bird drops out of the tree. He freaked the fuck out.
So it was
Yeah,
the
he
episode
killed
of The
something.
Simpsons where Bart shoots a bird.
Yeah.
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 Basically.
Yeah. He went and grabbed it, threw it in the creek, and we promptly never touched that BB gun ever again.
Yeah.
I had these friends of mine in the neighborhood when I think I was still living in Madisonville when I was 8. It was shortly before we moved to Paducah, because my dad moved us around a little bit, not nearly to the extent that you did, Dave, but in this area. For this, when the stores would open, we would have, like in a mall, we would have to move there. So we moved to Madisonville or Reedland, and then Madisonville, and then to Paducah where we stayed. But in Madison, there was a lot of trouble. I got into a lot of trouble in Madisonville.
Really?
There's a lot of bad kids around there. Our house was right next to a trailer park, and I hung out with all the kids in the trailer park, and they were like me. They were latchkey kids, and we just basically had the run of the place all the time, But I remember this one dude had a pellet gun, and it was one of those ones that wasn't like, mine was a standard. You cock it once and it's just spring loaded. You cock it once and you fire, and it shoots a BB. This one shot pellets, and it was one of those that you could pump. Like you pump up the pressure inside of it with the stock, and then, or not the stock, but the thing on the barrel. John's probably really upset with me right now.
That's okay. It's fine.
But you pump that up, and then you fire these pellets. Yeah, it's the gooch.
The Johnson rod?
Johnson. That's my new Steam name. The Johnson.
Yes, thank you.
It has to be the Johnson rod.
The Johnson rod's playing that witch sex game again.
Yes, he is. Flip witch. The forbidden sex X. Get it right.
Get it right or pay the price.
So anyway, that thing hurt. He shot me with it.
He shot you with it?
And it was good that it was pellets, because the pellets would,
like the hard plastic.
Well, no, they were like made of metal.
Oh,
but they were the heads on them. They almost look like little badminton shuttlecocks, little teeny tiny little guys, but
tiny cocks.
Micros.
Yeah, and I was in the pool. All right. So when they hit something, it would smash. It would flatten. So it wouldn't like embed itself.
Gotcha.
So he shot me in the ass, and it hurt. But
like in
didn't,
Dutch.
Yeah, but it didn't like go under my skin or anything. But fuck, those things were dangerous.
Yeah.
Like he could put, like when we would shoot at cans and stuff, it would go through the can, and the can wouldn't move. Like it would just pass through the can, and the can would stay. I'm like, Jesus. But yeah, we ran around the trailer park with our guns, our fucking BB gun. I never did kill anything with mine. I was never had that desire to like hunt or go kill a bird or whatever.
Stay that way.
Yeah.
You don't want to end up like me.
Yeah, I know, man. That's what comes to mind every time I think about going hunting. I talk myself out of like, I just can't go down that road that Tyler went down.
I don't want to be like Tyler.
I can't be like Tyler.
Same.
I love Tyler.
I can't kill my emotions.
I love Tyler like a brother, but I can't be like him.
Can't slit his mama's throat for a nickel. Even though nickels aren't currency in this world, but still.
A proper thing you would address in a remaster.
Yeah, and they did. Yeah.
What have you been doing? Speaking of your wily ways.
I'm getting kind of burned out on Pokemon Go. It's all the same shit over and over and over.
It do be like that.
So I started playing, what's it called?
Monster Hunter Run?
Angry Bird Dream Blast.
Okay.
It's a fun little puzzle ball match 4 thing. Monopoly Go, still on Monopoly Go a little bit. Yeah. I'm not as into it as Melissa is. She's very into it to the point she's like, I need to uninstall this.
Yeah.
Because whenever it's like, she's like, oh, I'm out of dice.
I need $50.
Whatever she says that, I pull up the account and it's like, I think you had dice. She's like, I didn't spend that much, and I'll show her. She's like, oh, yeah, those add up when you do it 6 times.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What's $12.99?
Man, restraint sucks. Showing restraint sucks.
It does. There's only one thing. There are 2 things I should say that I find myself not being able to show restraint on when it comes to stuff like this. Things that don't actually exist. Number 1 is buying games on the Steam sale.
Yeah, sure.
I just can't help myself.
That is fucking...
It feels good.
It scratches an itch. It does. And I'm like, I'll look at my library and just, I've got
girth.
This is what Alf feels like all the time.
The other thing is buying stuff in Overwatch. I buy skins and stuff, and I spend way too much money in that game. Like every season, I buy the big Battle Pass bundle that comes with all this new stuff and the Battle Pass, and then I look back after a month or 2 of that season. I look back and think, what have I done?
Yeah,
but then I literally will spend an hour going through all my skins, picking them. Like I'm gonna wear that one this time, and I'm gonna wear. She's gonna get that one today, and like I'm that bad.
any game that like, or anything, let me just say anything that has some kind of like abstracted layer between real money and like their currency. Fuck, man, I hate that shit so much.
Too.
Because it's like, I might not have made that purchase had you told me how much real money it was, but because it was in fake money that I already had like in a wallet.
Just 10,000 V-Bucks.
Right.
No big deal.
Yeah.
I had to stop playing Fortnite because it was like pick one, Overwatch or Fortnite, because I'm gonna buy shit in Fortnite, and they have even more cool shit in Fortnite.
Yeah, with Fortnite they fucked up because, like, I feel like for me they did. Like for everyone else playing it, probably not. But with me, it's like I got all the Dragon Ball skins, so it's like I'll check to see what they got, and it's like, do they have actual Deadpool yet? Still, no. Okay, it's still just Deadpool wearing like fucking clown costume. No, I just want Deadpool. It's like, and they just, I know he's out there. I know he's come out, but like they re-released the ones where he's like parroting other stuff.
I sort of apexed on my purchasing in Fortnite with My Hero Academia when they because I had like 6 people come to me and be like, dude, My Hero Academia is back in the Fortnite shit, because I had told everyone. It's like, I just missed it. Everyone came to me with that. I got texts. Cohen ran into the other room. Pappy, My Hero Academia is in the shop in Fortnite. I was like, what? Went and bought.
If anyone listening to this, if you happen to see Deadpool, just straight up original Deadpool on Fortnite, message me.
I'll tell Cohen.
But no Dark Tower spoilers. Other than
other than that, I'll tell Cohen.
Deadpool's on Fortnite also.
Also, here's how the Dark
Roland
Tower
shot
ends.
Kennedy.
But I'll tell Cohen to keep his eye out, because he will remember and he will tell me.
I thought you didn't get any spoilers, Dave.
Dude, I do not care for this Fortnite, OG Fortnite.
I haven't played it.
Oh, fuck, I hate it so much. Because despite having played Fortnite when it very first came out, I forgot how much it has evolved and how shitty I feel like it used to look.
Oh.
And it's not like they're like back to old textures and stuff, but they're using like the old like color schemes and like all of that. And it's like this, I don't like it. And they got like the original weapons and stuff in it. And it's like, that was interesting for a second when Henry told me. I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, I hate all these.
Classic isn't always best, everybody. Sometimes the new stuff is good.
Sometimes the new stuff is good.
Cohen was hyping that up to me today, as a matter of fact. About OG Fortnite. Have you played it? I'm like, nah, man, I haven't played it. But
we jumped in there, man, and we went from doing like, I mean, we'd have like one win a night.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for me and him.
Yeah.
And then we did OG Fortnite, and it's like 32nd, 14th. And it's just like, I mean, it's just like we didn't even break top 10 on a night. And it's like, don't think so. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because like it's brought back really good players or players who are better than us, or if
that's
it's just
probably part of it. Because it's like in Overwatch, every time a new season starts, most everybody's better than me at Overwatch that plays it anyway. But then when the new season starts,
you haven't seen me play.
when the new season starts, it does that. We get all the, really good players come in, and especially when there's a patch or a nerf or whatever. So it's pretty awful for a couple of weeks till they get bored and move on.
I've been thinking a lot about Overwatch recently, and it's because of the fucking gunslinger. And I'm like, man, I just want to, there's no gunslinger game, but I can play as McCree in Overwatch.
It's Cassidy. His name's Cassidy now.
Oh, is it because of like there was
he was named after one of those guys originally, so they changed his name to Cassidy.
Yeah.
I still call him McCree as well because it was McCree.
Yeah.
But it's Cassidy.
I forgot about that change.
You can't say that. Don't say McCree. It's like saying the N-word.
I'm sorry. I like to take this time to apologize to All of our
all of McCree's
listeners.
victims.
Fuck, I said it again. I'm sorry, I was raised this way. I'll change.
It was a different time. It's 2016, y'all.
Man, I remember being a kid. My grandmother couldn't stop saying McCree. It's ridiculous.
My grandfather was like that. Just McCree this, McCree that, fucking McCree.
She didn't mean anything by it.
It's just the way they talked. God. Oh my God.
My great grandmother went to the store and asked for that McCree candy, and everybody was shocked.
Oh no. Yeah.
Well, we're an hour in. Do you guys want to do a draft? We want
Sure.
to move on to the next section.
Let's do whatever, man. I'm good. I'm good with whatever. Good.
'Cause I don't have a ton to say about the game.
I also don't.
Well,
All right, thanks everybody.
Cool. Are we done? This is rad.
Let's just stop.
Can this be the show from now on?
Yeah.
We could still name it after a video game, and it'll just really, really piss off the people who
Oh my God.
just tune in for the video games. Which, believe it or not, they exist and are vocal when we do not talk about a video game.
well, I know we did the quick fire robot draft.
Which
I
I
wonder
just-
if we really, it's appropriate for this. We were to do a legitimate, more thoughtful robot draft.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't want to
think
do
I-
robot draft again.
Android draft.
Because there's going to be a lot of repeat.
Yeah, there will be a lot of repeat.
Thanksgiving movie draft.
Okay.
I'm sure we could all name 5 of
I don't
those.
think there are 15
Thanksgiving food draft?
Thanksgiving movies.
I want to see that Thanksgiving movie.
Me too.
Oh,
The
real
horror
bad.
movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen Pilgrim?
No, I haven't.
Pilgrim's good. It's
But
on Hulu.
I'm interested in anything that was a trailer in Grindhouse.
Yeah.
I want to watch. You know, Hobo with a
Holy
Shotgun.
shit, Dave. I
Yep.
forgot that
Yep.
was a fucking Grindhouse trailer.
Yep, and it's Eli Roth. And that's
oh
like,
my God. Tanya is going to have a fucking
Yeah, dude.
cow when I remind her.
That's who did that trailer in Grind.
You
I mean, I
scooped
fucking
me
love
on
this
that
shit.
one. I completely didn't
Machete,
put that together.
Hobo with a Shotgun.
Yes.
I mean, fuck. I'm like on board for all these. I want.
Holy
Don't.
fuck.
That's what I really, really want.
Holy fuck. That is amazing. I cannot wait to tell Tanya this. 'Cause she ain't listening to this show, but I'm definitely going to tell her about this tonight because I had completely forgotten about that.
I wanna see it real bad.
Excellent. Me too. Me too. Generally, I got a little. I've had beef with Eli Roth in the past, but he's matured a lot.
Yeah.
He's gotten better.
Thanksgiving food.
Thanksgiving food.
Thanksgiving food.
Have we?
Have we done
Done
a
this?
Thanksgiving
I
food
feel like we
draft?
have.
I think we have, but I mean, we could.
We have.
We could do it again, and then I'm sure no one would listen back to the one we did before, and then
Especially not
out,
Dane.
Point out what we changed.
Speaking of Dane, how about I ask Dane?
Yeah, live. You want to call him?
You should call him. Can't- I'm not hooking. I'm not
We're
hooking
not set
up
up for
the
that.
board.
We don't have the headphones out.
Unless you want to just do it on speaker, like I did with the Dairy Queen.
Yeah, we
woman.
could do that if you wanted to.
I'll hit speaker. Let me hit
Great.
call.
All right.
Did I not do it right? I've been loading this call. So I guess maybe he'll pick up.
The internet's not working out here, by the way.
Burr. Here, I'll just
Did you
message
plug
him.
in? Is the router? There's the wireless
Everything should
bridge
be.
still plugged in.
Yeah.
Oh, you ran that perma cable out to it, didn't you?
Is the screen door open or shut?
Oh, yeah, I got that glass door. Right.
You're about as useful as a screen door on a battleship. It's submarine, Biff.
Man, I need to rewatch. I haven't watched those in a long time, and I think Henry would really like.
This is the
those.
time of year, in my opinion, to watch them. I find the period between Thanksgiving and Christmas, or the Thanksgiving season, not between Thanksgiving and Christmas, but the Thanksgiving season before like Black Friday and stuff, is a good time for old school movies, sci-fi movies. Things of that nature. It's usually when they released. That's when they would release like James Bond movies, and Harry Potter were always released in November.
Okay.
That's a good time of year for that. I don't care. That one I could say we could do again. I don't care if we do Thanksgiving
Let's do
food.
it. Fuck it. Let's do it.
I'd like, maybe someone will compare them, and we can see how consistent we are.
I'm sure we will be very consistent. I'm willing to bet we'll have the exact same answers as last time.
Okay.
And no one will point out any otherwise.
So one, Dave.
I go first?
Yeah.
I'm going to pick turkey.
Of what variety?
Well, this is going to be unpopular.
You said turkey, so I wrote Dave, Ian, and turkey for the people that are.
That means you're turkey, Tyler. Tyler, the turkey.
Ladies and gentlemen, returning guest turkey. This is going to be unpopular.
The
but
Foo Fighters.
I'm going to go with my favorite, which is turkey breast. I like the white meat. I know it's not as juicy as the dark meat, but, I just can't explain. If you got gravy, then if you don't have gravy, then I'm going dark meat. But you always got gravy.
I can't stand dark meat.
Really?
The white meat is my choice.
When I was a kid, I didn't like dark meat, but
It's too.
See, I'm the opposite. I only want dark meat.
It's too squirmy.
I get it.
I don't know how to. I don't know what other word to
Gives
pick.
it to us raw and wriggling.
I get it. It's like if mushroom was a meat, that would be like the turkey dark meat. I feel like it gets that same I don't know.
But see, I like mushrooms.
I like mushrooms too.
But I will eat dark meat. Like I don't like chicken dark meat either.
Well, I'd prefer a chicken thigh to anything else.
But I'll eat a
love
chicken leg. I do like a chicken leg.
Like a
but
chicken
they're
breast.
so fatty and
I'm a
grizzly.
breast man.
But I do like the breast the most.
So turkey, white meat
Roasted turkey.
versus fried, or
Yeah.
roasted.
Roasted.
Traditionalist, I guess. I've never had fried. I've never had a fried turkey before.
I don't think I have either.
And I haven't wanted to do it because I don't want to set my house on fire.
Right.
Yeah. my parents would pay a guy who would always do like a shit ton every Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Ian, your number one pick.
I do like the stuffing, but it's more of dressing. There's a difference, right?
Yeah, there is.
What is the difference?
one that doesn't
One's
get
up in the turkey.
The one that doesn't go in the turkey is dressing.
Yeah, that's stuffing, and stuffing is. I also think of dressing as almost more of it's made outside. Usually, you put turkey in it, and it's more of like a casserole. And then you've got the bready.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the stuffing.
Tanya has this recipe for stuffing that she got from her grandmother that she has managed over the years to get pretty much perfect.
Yep.
And it doesn't have turkey though in it. It's got sausage in it.
Ooh.
And
Or clams like my grandmother
yeah, I'm
would
not
do.
into that at all. But specifically Tanya's dressing is my number one pick. And I would challenge anyone that had it.
You stole mine.
I don't typically like dressing. I don't like it's too, it makes me kind of gag a little. I don't know why it does, but there's something in it that gives me that gaggy reflex. Hers doesn't do that. So it's the only one I'll eat and not, make gross gagging noises at the table.
So dressing?
Dressing.
Something I will gorge myself on every time. Deviled eggs.
Dude.
Love a good deviled egg.
Girl, same. I eat deviled eggs. I eat them too fast. Because I can't get enough of them. They're delicious.
Yeah. See, I got to have it with bread, though. I want to eat a deviled egg and immediately chase it with a bite of bread.
I get grossed out by cold, hard-boiled eggs. I'll eat them because they're good.
And it's also a good vehicle for just salt.
That is true. And it's like a really easy breakfast.
It
if
is.
you just make a whole bunch of hard-boiled eggs, put them in the fridge.
Yep.
But there's a part of me that's always like, fuck, this is so the temperature of this mixed with the texture of it, especially the whites, is just like my brain is just like, what the fuck are you doing? When it's hot, like when it's like a freshly hard boiled egg, I love it. It's like this is warm.
And the way that the yolk, and when the boiled eggs are cold, the yolk has that kind of grayish pallor to it when you crack into it, when you bite into it. That's always kind of freaked my shit out a little bit, but I love them.
They're good. Yeah, a salt.
But it is kind of barbaric when you think about it.
There's just something about it being cold that is just weird to me.
I get that,
but
it's rubbery on the outside. And
see, I'm like
chalky a little bit on the inside.
Cold things that typically are served hot, for me, just never work. Like, I cannot stand cold pizza. Pizza's like one of my favorite foods, but I cannot eat it cold.
I can't. It's okay for me.
I just can't deal with it.
But piping hot, like the kind where it's like you gotta like chew it fast, like the lizard in the desert, that like can't have all 4 feet on the ground.
Yes,
like that's like how I like to eat pizza.
But if there's nothing, I will eat it if I have to.
Yeah,
cold, but I don't like it. So
I get real nervous about shit.
Me too. I like to make sure everything that's taken up residence on it is dead.
Yeah. Nikki, she doesn't say anything, but I can tell that it annoys her sometimes. So I try to keep it toned down a bit.
Same.
But I'll be like, how long has this been sitting
out? Same. Tanya looks at me like gives me. I have gotten more irritated looks from her over asking about the safety of food, because I think she takes it in a way that I'm not trusting her.
Right.
And it's not that. Everybody makes
not
mistakes.
Trusting the bacteria.
You might be able to eat something and be fine, and that same thing might make me sick as a dog. It just depends on the person, and I am the same way. My mom got really sick with food poisoning once, and that scared the shit out of me. She had to be hospitalized from it, and that scared the shit out of me. Yes. So I'm always like super weird about cold food. Like, if it's past its expiration date, I will not eat it.
I know.
I won't eat it.
Even if it's
it's probably
Nick, you'll be like, it's a shelf date. It's like, there's a date on it.
There's a date. It's past that date.
I get it. I get it. Still good.
I've seen the TikTok where it's like the marriage is always people who strictly believe in expiration dates and the other one who does not at all. Melissa is the one who does, and I'm the one who does not at all.
That doesn't surprise me.
But you have a food-based career.
Right.
I mean, you are kind of an expert, right? So I would trust you.
Yeah.
But I would still be trepidatious. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't eat it, but I would trust you.
I would eat it if I knew.
If I would believe that you know what you're talking about, but my fear is so ingrained that I just wouldn't. I believe that you're telling the truth and that this is safe to eat.
Yep.
But I'm not going to eat it.
Ignorance is bliss.
I don't know
on this.
why I'm like that.
Because it's like Nikki does 99% of the cooking. And it's like, I don't ask her when she's serving the food, was any of this the expiration date? What was the expiration date of all of this stuff? I don't, because I trust her. It's like, she knows.
Yeah.
But get the logbook.
Right. Right. Yeah. Pull up the spreadsheet.
Well, Tanya knows what she's talking about too, because I didn't know you weren't supposed to put hot food in the fridge. Like warm food that hasn't fully cooled down. If it's a big lot of it, right?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to, like, if you have a big casserole or something and you eat out of it and it's still hot, you need it to cool down to room temp before you put it in the fridge. I didn't know this, and I don't know because of food poisoning.
It could increase the temperature in your fridge. That's going to bring everything else into the temperature danger zone temporarily.
But if it's like, hypothetically, if it's half a container, about 300 grams of drunken noodles, is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, it's also like if you were to like make gravy, it's still hot. Cover it completely, put in the fridge. It's gonna take like shit the next day. It's gonna go sour. So you want to let it cool down gradually.
Why is it gonna taste like shit?
I don't know the science behind it. I do not know, but it does.
Tanya worked in food service for a while, And she has these things that built into her because of that. And so I know she knows what she's talking about.
Sure, yeah, of course.
And I do trust her.
Yeah.
But I'm still really weird about eating things.
Ignorance is bliss, man.
Yeah,
As long
I'd
as I
rather-
don't know what date was on the thing,
Yeah.
it's fine. But if I know the date, if I'm in the kitchen and I'm looking at the milk and that milk has the date, and then it's like that fucking Seinfeld bit. I smelled it. You smelled it. What's it supposed to smell like?
Supposed to smell
I don't
like,
fucking
exactly.
know. And sometimes I'll do it because I'll look and I'll be like, honey.
yeah. Is this fun? Is this okay to
And
drink?
she'll smell it, and then
I'm a
I'll smell it,
5-year-old
and she's
again.
like, give me a cup. And then she takes a cup, pours it in, drinks it. It's fine.
Are you sure? I think I'm going to pour it
Yeah.
out. Yeah, we go through that a lot at my house.
Well, see, I'll go and I'll spend like $20 on a big thing of chicken. We'll get busy. By the time I get around to cooking, it's like I pull it out. Okay, it expired yesterday. Then I turn into a smuggler where I'm trying to covertly open up the chicken before Melissa notices. Because if she sees me over the chicken, she'll be like, what's the expiration? What's the
she
expiration?
checks.
Oh yeah, she'll come over there, and if it's yesterday, nope, not gonna eat it. It's fine. It's been sealed. It's in the back of the fridge.
refrigerator.
Expired yesterday. Nope.
I don't
You
wanna
can
know.
eat it. I'm not gonna eat it.
That I wouldn't be. That I wouldn't
know.
be that upset about. But
It would
I'm
bother
with,
me. I would
It
be
would
eating
bother
it. I would
me
be eating it. I'd be
too.
like,
Is this pink?
Fuck, I'm gonna die.
Is this
God
pink
damn
too?
it.
Is this fully cooked? There'll be like
damn it.
the light in the room will be like somewhat dim or red or something, and you look at the meat. Never look at the meat
Nope.
in the red light
Nope.
because it's
or at all.
I was watching Kitchen Nightmares the other day, and Gordon, you know how he does. He goes in and he eats. There was this group next to him. It was this Puerto Rican or Dominican Republic place. I can't remember. But anyway, that one guy was eating and he got up and went in the bathroom and threw up.
Oh,
because the chicken nugget chunks were raw. They were raw, and it's like, bro, I wouldn't have even gotten that far because I'm that guy that looks at the fucking shit before I eat it. And I do this because once I went to Shoney's when we had a Shoney's here
Yes.
in Paducah.
Yes.
I went to Shoney's and I ordered some chicken strips, and they were fully breaded on the outside and 100% raw.
Oh my
and I
God.
bit into it, and I was like, what the fuck? And I cut it, and it was raw. I thought I was going to explode. Like, I was certain that I was literally going to catch fire and die right there in Shoney's because my mouth had come into contact with raw chicken. And after that, I check it now every time. But if like the light's a little dim in the room and I look and I'm like holding it up, is that pink? And she's like, I cooked it for an hour. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, it's fine. I'll eat it.
I get fucked up, man, when it's like close to the bone and it's like, that's a little pink. That's probably okay. Right?
Yeah.
That's probably all right. I'm sure it's okay. I'm just gonna eat around it.
In
It's
this
fine.
way, we are the same,
Yeah.
my friend. So what's your second pick for the
Is it my turn?
Thanking
Yep.
draft?
Oh,
This
see,
is just
Raw chicken.
yeah, raw chicken that I
Old milk.
No, the
that
bread, the old
Thanksgiving
milk's been soaked
staple.
in. Since
Expired bread soaking in old milk.
It's called pudding, bread pudding.
I'll go stuffing. I love stuffing.
Okay.
And
Stovetop stuffing is a guilty pleasure food.
yeah,
for
man,
me.
I love
Fucking
stovetop stuffing.
eat a whole
Not gonna
fucking
lie,
box.
I love it. I think it's great. There's a whole Dave Chappelle bit about it from a long time ago, and for a reason. It's good. Stovetop stuffing is good. Big fan. I prefer it over homemade, honestly.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I'm not saying the homemade's not as good, but the homemade that I've had has never been as good as stovetop stuffing.
I'm not pulling a thing here, but I would like very much to bring you guys some of the stuffing that Tanya
Please,
makes,
do
so
it.
you
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
sample
No,
it.
is it the dressing?
Or the dressing?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
dressing,
Totally.
yeah.
I totally want to try that.
Yeah.
It sounds great.
There should be plenty left after tomorrow. I'll freeze some,
Okay.
maybe, and bring it to. I'll freeze it real good, Dave.
Oh, I'm not
It
worried
won't
about
expire.
Not worried
Actually,
about
there's nothing in the stuffing that really goes bad except maybe the sausage. But yeah, I'll hook you up.
Yeah, number 2.
you know, I keep going back to how Tanya cooks. She cooks like my mommy. She cooks just like mom. She learned how to cook from her grandmother, but then also under my mother, whose cooking I was in love with. Everybody has their favorite. My mom's cooking was always my favorite, and Tanya she has my mom's cookbooks, and so and all my mom's handwritten recipes and stuff, and then little notes in the margin that she follows religiously, and so she's pretty much got it nailed as far as. And Tanya and everybody says my hash brown casserole is the best ever.
Oh, I'm sorry. You Cracker Barrel?
That's untrue, because Tanya's hash brown casserole is the best ever, and it does not feature onions. Thank you very much. I feel like onions and hash brown casserole
give me
is a
onions
sin.
and mushroom in it.
Sinner. I would take mushrooms, but not onions. But onions also make me very sick. So you know, but that's my favorite. Hash brown casserole by Tanya is my favorite.
Nice.
And that's really the only time of year we ever have it, is at Thanksgiving. Although it's something that we could make any time. It's fucking potatoes and cheese. And
but does it make it more special? Yes. Is it one of the? Yeah, I totally get that.
Would be. It's one of those things that's good, but it would be easy to get sick of.
Yeah.
So,
man, you talking about like the recipes and Tanya cooking like some of your mom's recipes and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember when Nikki and I first started dating, and she wanted to make spaghetti. And I said,
For
okay.
Thanksgiving?
No, well, yeah, that'd be great.
Thanksgiving spaghetti, Tyler.
Carbonara? Yeah, man. Do that for Thanksgiving. Big old fucking plate of that shit. That'd be great.
Look, I would love spaghetti on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Spaghetti given?
Spaghetti given, yes.
But it was one of those where it was like, that sounds good. However, I really like if you would cook my mom's spaghetti recipe, because it's really good. I felt like there was a little bit of a to that,
Is that right?
Right, yeah. But
you
then
want me to cook like your mommy. Well, I'm not your fucking mommy.
Just the spaghetti. Mom, I mean Nikki.
Holy shit. Okay. I love it.
Any of you guys ever call your teacher mom in elementary school? That ever happened?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Second grade for me.
I didn't.
I remember it fucking clear as you remember any trauma.
That's Ralph Wiggum did that in The Simpsons.
Yep. Sure did.
I did. I could not call my second grade teacher mom, because my second grade teacher was hot as fuck. I had the hugest Mrs. Duncan. Holy Lord. John has a thing for redheads.
Yeah.
I do too, and it's because of Mrs. Duncan.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Anyway.
I called my favorite teacher, my fourth grade teacher, Mom once.
I bet that happens.
But she was just like,
so
she was
much.
a sweet, wonderful lady.
I bet that happens
And
a
she
lot,
laughed
though.
and said, "You know my name." So
I don't know what the fuck, man. I was just like fucking absent-minded or something.
You think about it, it's because I think when that happens, it just means that you've got a certain comfort level in the classroom, that you have trust in that person, that teacher, that authority figure, and you don't think about it, and that you make that kind of absent-minded association that, and you say, "Mom, I need to go to the bathroom," or just out of habit. I think that's actually probably a good thing.
Yeah.
In that way.
I call my mom Mrs. Moore as well. Is that weird?
yeah.
Not at all. Not at all.
My
Tyler.
number 2 is cheesy mashed potatoes.
I don't know that I've ever had cheesy mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I never
Is
want to
it-
have plain again. Cheesy mashed potatoes.
Is it pretty much just what it sounds like?
Yep.
What kind of cheese?
Cheddar.
Nice.
Gravy. Brown gravy.
Brown gravy?
I was going to
Yeah.
say brown or white.
Brown
but
gravy.
brown is the stuff. I love
Yeah.
it.
White is like, in my opinion, an expert, a breakfast-only gravy.
That tracks. I think that's probably the...
I can do a chicken fried
don't-
steak, but generally, outside of a chicken fried steak, it's all breakfast.
I don't
Yeah.
generally eat gravy that often,
Me neither.
but
That's like a special treat.
given, it's a seasonal thing, I think, again.
Unless it's KFC. With the potatoes.
Potatoes.
Yeah, we don't do gravy with... when we eat potatoes at home regularly, it's baked potatoes, like always. But yeah, KFC, it's like, yeah, okay. Mashed potatoes and gravy. Yeah.
My number 3 is cranberry sauce.
Delicacy.
The delicacy of all. Damn.
That's now I refer to the one that comes out of the can. The one that it's like the jelly
Right,
when you go. It's like looks like dog food. It goes thump, thunk onto the plate, and then you slice it into circles, and I will gobble it up. I love it.
Although props to Kana. Kana still made the best cranberry sauce I've ever had in my life.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
so
she sent
is
it to me, and I just ate it with a spoon out of the jar.
Is there a difference between the stuff that's like the jelly mold and cram? Is it all like
to my knowledge,
sauce?
the can is just it's sort of like it's just jelly. It's cranberry jelly, really. Cranberry sauce. You can do like whole cranberries and orange.
It's got bits in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I don't know much about, but I do like the stuff. Whatever's in the can is what I'm specifically Ocean Spray cranberry sauce.
Not a big. I can't do cranberry.
I love it.
I was drinking
it's my
cranberry
favorite
juice for
it's
a
my
minute.
favorite juice.
I really tried.
I like the stuff that's like. I like the cranberry juice that's like the raw cranberry juice that doesn't have any sweetener. That's like really super tart.
Yeah.
I love it because it's pure, and I can actually feel it cleansing my kidneys as it goes through my body. It's really hard to find that stuff that's unsweet. That's like the raw. It's hard to find that.
Yeah, man. I tried. I gave it a go. Pomegranate is like I like pomegranate.
There you
That's
go.
kind of my.
I'll do tart cherry juice because it relieves when I feel like I'm having a gout flare up. It'll make it better.
It's the acid, right?
Breaks down the uric acid crystals.
Okay.
Or so I read, and maybe it's just psychosomatic, but there we go.
Tyler, you're number 3.
Oh, chocolate pie.
Oh yeah,
Damn,
dessert.
that is delicious.
My mom makes a really good chocolate pie. That's the only request Melissa will have from her. What she would do Thanksgiving.
Yummy.
Dave, number 5.
I'm more of a savory guy. I'm probably not gonna have any desserts on my list, but I'm glad you had one because I just kind of forget about desserts a lot of times. Ham. I prefer the turkey, but hey, man.
See, I think I would prefer ham over turkey.
Yeah.
But I don't dislike turkey, but ham is easier for me. Ham is just like, you don't have to think about it. You cut it up and you eat it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And the type of ham matters. Is it smoked? Is it,
Honey.
Honey. I don't like a honey ham.
I like a honey ham.
But the salted smoked ham.
I prefer that's what I prefer. It's
good.
Smoked ham.
Yeah, number 4.
I am going to go the dessert route here too. Well, once again, props to Tanya. Pineapple cake. Ooh. She makes a pineapple cake from a box, but what she does is instead of using oil, she makes all her cakes with applesauce instead of oil.
Oh, that's better
because it's fluffier. It's better for you. But she does that,
more
and
moist,
then
in my opinion.
it's definitely moistest. The most moist. But she also will mix like a half a can of crushed pineapple bits into the mix before she bakes it. And it's my favorite cake. And we usually only have it around this time of year as well. But yeah, pineapple cake.
I'll go split the difference between a Thanksgiving side and dessert and pick sweet potato casserole with pecans and marshmallows.
It's a big hit at my house. I'm not a fan, but that is a big hit.
Dave, your final one.
I like green bean casserole quite a bit.
Yep. It's on my short list.
I like green beans. I like green bean casserole. Yeah, that's probably my favorite casserole is a green bean casserole.
My number 5 is in the same vein, is greens in general. I like peas, just green beans, not a casserole, spinach, because that's a good time for
you
me.
like a cream spinach?
Not really.
Yeah.
I just like spinach. I like the stuff that Popeye eats. I like the stuff that's just leafy green spinach, whether it's raw or cooked. Some form of green vegetable. And if I need to pick one, I'm going to say green beans, but not in a casserole form. Just
Loose leaf.
nice loose leaf green beans.
Man, spinach. Big fan of spinach.
Love spinach. It's so good.
Yeah, raw spinach. I like putting that on a sandwich.
I like the canned stuff. It's
I
weird.
don't know that I've had the canned stuff.
It's just that
honestly.
weird. It looks like seaweed. You know. I love it. I love the flavor of it. I've always liked spinach.
Like a spinach dip.
I do like a spinach, like avocado spinach dip. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Artichoke spinach dip.
Or artichoke.
right,
That's
yeah.
what it was. I meant artichoke, not avocado. That would be gross. actually.
If I were going for points, I would say mac and cheese. But what do I prefer? Collard greens.
Frog pussy. Oh.
Love frog pussy.
Shit. Cross it off the list, everyone. Bingo!
What we need to do is sell an official TADPOG bingo card stamper. Is what we need to sell.
Yep. You're right.
Lord knows we're not going to be selling enamel pins.
Right.
Thanks for that.
Honorable mentions. I guess I have mac and cheese for honorable mention then.
Yeah, that would be on my honorable mention too. That's a hell of a side.
Broccoli, cheese, and rice casserole.
Dude, yeah, broccoli and cheddar is kind of the tits. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I hadn't thought about that.
I don't like
picks,
pumpkin pie. I know people like that. I don't care.
I don't care for pumpkin pie.
That's okay.
I don't like pecan pie either.
I
like pecan pie.
could do that.
It's a little too sweet for me, and I think there's a texture factor there that I don't
Even
like.
more gelatinized corn syrup is too sweet.
It's just what I need.
It's got healthy nuts in there.
I like a cherry pie.
Yeah.
Ooh, see, I don't dig on. I love the flavor of cherry pie.
apple pie.
I can't deal with the texture of cherries.
Yeah.
If they would make a cherry pie that just has like that gelatinous cranberry sauce texture, in the middle, I would love that.
Yeah.
because I love the flavor of it.
Yeah.
but I can't.
I like
eat
the
it.
tartness.
Apple pie,
Especially if it has like a little bit of powdered sugar or something on it. Just a little bit as a treat.
a good apple pie for me would be an honorable mention.
Yeah.
This is a good time of year. It's harvest season for apples, technically.
I like apple pie, but I will always stray toward
Pear.
caramel apple pie.
Have I ever said the words pear pie? And I have not until today. Pear pie. Oh, that's revolting.
We could do that.
Oh,
I'm gonna make
I
a
like
pear pie.
pears, but I can't
They
imagine
exist.
it in a
Oh, man.
pie.
I was just talking to my director about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I've
'cause
never thought of a pear pie.
someone at work found a pear, and it was like a big deal because it's like a pear, and pear's a polarizing
Pear
fruit.
what?
Yeah. And then she said, "Yeah, I make a pear pie," and that was like the first time I've really thought about that.
Pears, the polarizing fruit.
All right, Zoltan.
Honey glazed carrots. I like honey glazed carrots.
Not a big fan of those personally.
Rolls?
Carrots, I
Rolls,
love.
yeah.
Yes. Those real yeasty, bready rolls.
Yes.
Ones that sop.
Yes.
Need a good sopping roll.
Yeah. Bring a mop and a bucket.
A mop handle with a giant roll on the end of it.
Yes.
Well, you guys want to take a break? Then we'll come back and talk RoboCop v Terminator.
Sure.
More than you know.
I suggest you use your right to remain silent before I show your robot ass some Detroit violence. I'm like an X-Wing commander, cause I stay on target. I take over these streets, I got my farmer's market. I wonder where the Cyberdyne research went, that they couldn't fix your funky Hans and Franz accent. They sent you back to kill a child, he's defeating distilled. They should have made a time traveling morning after pill. And I didn't think I had any feelings at this ID, but my heart was surely broken after Terminator 3. I'm RoboCop and I got the flow. To be roided out C-3PO, I got the mind control.
detailed files, the conclusion of your trilogy. That movie failed Detroit worse than the automotive industry. I am T-800 Cyberdyne Systems Model 101, and I'll be sweeping up your robobits like paper clips when I'm done. My rapping attack is a massive dispatch of bazookas and gas and grenades that rapidly bashes your brains and dismantles that puny pea shooter that fits in your leg. We're not the same, you peel away. Our perfect skin, you find supercomputers. You look like crying wearing a cold pressed juice now. They left off your balls when your suit was created.
I still love you, Alex.
Bullshit! Your sex life is terminated! Based on my detailed analysis on the lyrical structure of battle rap, it's time for your next shit verse! And then, I'll be back.
And now for the game talk.
The what?
The game talk.
One more time.
The game talk.
I do like this time. I do like this time you went low instead of high. Last time I had you in the like upper register.
Always keep them guessing.
I bought the bubble for Melinda's birthday.
So, RoboCop v Terminator.
It's a video game.
Who knew? Who knew it was all RoboCop's fault?
It was.
I know, right? Did you guys know that this was a comic book written by Frank Miller? I didn't know it until I did
Well, I didn't know
a
it.
cursory amount of research.
Same.
I didn't know
and
it until you just said
I can
it.
read you the little synopsis that we
Please.
probably all read in Wikipedia when we were like, who the fuck came up with this?
Right. And then I was like, Frank Miller?
Yeah, that Frank Miller.
Right. The Dark Knight, Frank
The Dark
Miller.
Knight, Frank Miller. As Skynet's machines exterminate the last of humanity, human soldier Florence Flo Langer
Writer.
infiltrates.
No. different person entirely.
It's like 50 Cent.
Right?
50 cents.
There's 50 Cent and then there's 50.
50 cent and 50 cents.
There's Flo Rida.
Flo Rida. Okay.
One's a musician, the other is a RoboCop fanfic character.
I have to start over now.
Sorry.
As Skynet's machines exterminate the last of humanity, human soldier Florence Flo Langer infiltrates their systems and learns Skynet first became self-aware through contact with the cyborg RoboCop, using his human consciousness and ability to interface with machines to gain sentience and spark the nuclear war that leads to Skynet seizing control over Earth. Okay.
Refrigerator doesn't have a D, but fridge does.
Correct. Just talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic.
This is not my joke, but I'm going to repeat it. I read it on Reddit when I was doing this is how I do my research. Google, okay. RoboCop versus The Terminator. Okay, Reddit link, click. Okay, oh, this is a comic book. Okay. Apparently on a podcast, the title was mentioned in the comment. Can't remember it, but it's the joke stuck with me is the premise of RoboCop versus Terminator is like RoboCop wrote a self-insert fan fiction of the Terminator, where it's like, okay, I fight the Terminators.
I did this.
But it was my fault, so I got to fix it. And they kicked my ass real bad in the beginning. But then I go to their time and I kick their ass.
Yeah.
I would have
Almost a Steven Seagal movie.
Wow, dude.
It is almost a Steven Seagal movie.
Dude, not a Steven Seagal fan. However, if it was pitched, RoboCop 4, Steven Seagal is RoboCop, I would watch that.
I watch fat RoboCop.
I would
How did he
absolutely.
get fat? He's a robot. I don't know, man.
I would pay to watch it.
Yeah.
Assuming, of course, that the money doesn't go to fund, North Korea or something.
Sure,
But
yeah.
obviously, that would be a
Belarus.
must-watch.
Belarus is where I think he went and met that dictator and
Oh, yeah,
ate,
Belarus,
ate the
yeah.
weird carrot in front of him.
I know it's on his draft.
This is a most honorable, delicious carrot. The carrots I grow at home are much better, but this is also a good carrot.
We're very proud of our produce. Do you like it? Yeah. First time I've had a carrot in 40 years, but yeah.
I want Steven
My body is
Seagal.
rejecting this carrot.
A keto,
Healthy.
a keto is not carrot based.
Must chop carrot in half. Too weak. Must body slam carrot. Can't lift it. Fuck, I'm doing now. I'm back up to 8.
Oh, there we go.
That's
We got you
good.
there.
That's
We
good.
got you there.
Let's continue.
So they made a video game about this. They were like, that was a comic book. Next logical jump would be, let's make a video game about it.
Everybody loves Alien versus Predator. Why not RoboCop versus Terminator?
One of the more interesting discussions I think that we might be able to have about the box art involves this game.
Yep.
This game had a special edition release.
For some reason.
For some reason, it had a special edition box that was like a hard plastic,
textured,
like with squares, very, very Terminator. Looked like the processor that they destroyed in Terminator 2.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes.
One of the notes I read about that on the internet was someone posted a picture of their copy in the hard plastic case and said, best box, worst game ever. Best box, worst game combo ever.
Oh, I was about to
like
say,
that.
they haven't played Last Action Hero.
Correct. which notably did not get a special box. The regular old box.
Coming in a giant movie ticket.
Yeah, the regular old box looks like it has a picture of the good box on it.
The box is Detective Whiskers' litter box. There's sand in it. You gotta scoop the cartridge out.
The cartridge out. Yeah.
Oh, Danny DeVito buried this one good. Man, I hope he uses a litter box. That'd be the best news ever if I learned that Danny DeVito uses a litter box. For fun. He doesn't. It's not a medical thing.
Just because.
He just wants to.
Because he chooses
I like
to.
the sand between my toes. I like the hooers to watch me. So anyway, I bend over and start blasting the turds out.
This game came out in 1993. I'm not just reading this off of Wikipedia right now. I'm totally prepared. Came out in 1993 on a fucking lot of systems.
Yes.
I played it for the Super NES, but
Same.
it also had a Master System release.
Yeah.
Limited in Europe. Yeah, it's limited European Master System release. Game Gear.
GBA, right?
Original Game Boy.
Game Boy.
And Genesis.
SNES Drunk says that that's the best version.
I haven't played it.
I haven't either.
It was developed by Interplay for the Super Nintendo, as was the trend at the time.
Solid at the time.
Each console got their own developer, I guess, so that the games could be released around the same time, which I don't know why they felt like that was important, but I guess they felt it was.
I guess if one came out, the next version came out a year later.
I guess that would be weird.
Yeah, you wouldn't like, well, they already came out with this. Why are they coming out with it again?
Yeah, maybe. And it was published by Virgin Interactive Entertainment.
Well, what'd you guys, we will talk about the box. So if you were to compare your experience with this game to a movie, a celebrity, something like that, what would you compare it to?
I would compare it to Weekend at Bernie's because I could complete this game in a weekend, I feel like. Spoilers, this is a rent for me. And much like RoboCop, Bernie is dead. And unfortunately, not controlled by cybernetics, but to...
With the right technology, Bernie could have been fine.
RoboCop 5. Think about it.
RoboCop 5. Bernie's back.
RoboCop goes Hawaiian.
Alien versus Predator.
Okay.
Yes. A little more serious.
AVP.
I
Sounds like a
really
sex thing.
liked AVP. The first AVP movie was... I still rewatch that from time to time. It scratches some itches. It feels okay. I liked... Spoilers, I didn't hate this game. And
I didn't either.
it puts kind of that same Freddy versus Jason, Alien versus Predator, all these kind of crossover things that happen. I would have never thought of RoboCop versus Terminator, nor would I have conceived of the story, that backs it up. But yeah, that's kind of where I went with that.
I'll compare it to maybe a commercial for honey, because if you've ever poured honey, it's very slow. Just like I felt this game was, RoboCop was very, very slow and clunky.
Yeah.
Which I would expect him to be.
Yeah.
But don't give me that level of realism at the same time.
Right.
I think it would have bothered me more if it was not RoboCop. But because it was RoboCop, I was like, this feels right.
Yeah.
However, I feel like they should have made him tougher. Because it's like, I'm a tank as RoboCop, and I feel like it when I move, but I don't feel like it when I'm getting shot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because it's like when I'm getting shot in that game, I'm panicking. And it's like, RoboCop doesn't panic when he gets shot.
He actually can take a few bullets
Right.
without damage. I think you should have a
shield mechanic.
buffer, a shield
nice.
mechanic would have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a recharging shield would have
Right.
been nice.
That would have been great. But when you do start fighting Terminators, I felt it.
Yes.
Terminators are a lot tougher than RoboCop.
Turns out.
Holy shit.
Yes,
That's
they
when I
really
quit.
are.
Because I don't know what the fuck was going on in level 3.
Yeah.
Whenever
he goes to
I-
the future.
Because, there's a Terminator hanging off a pipe, and I go below it so it can't shoot me. And I just filled his fucking ass full of rockets for minutes on end.
Yeah, they just take a bunch of them.
And when nothing happened,
Well,
I was like, okay, I don't know if
that-
I'm doing something wrong.
that particular
this feels
level-
way too long. I'm done.
is that the one where you got to jump up the things?
Yeah.
Yeah, that particular level, they tell you beforehand that your weapons won't work. You have to find another way to kill them.
Oh, you're talking about in the police station?
Yeah, at the end. No, at
With the
end
pipes?
of-
Because they tell you that there too. Because you got to kill that one Terminator with the. For whatever reason, I guess there's 2 giant electrodes in the police station.
Oh,
And
no.
you gotta shoot the Terminator onto a conveyor belt. That probably wasn't the police station, was it?
No, that
These
was
things don't seem like police stations.
that was
That's
the
the
one I'm
Raccoon
talking
City
about.
police station with the giant
Right.
statues and puzzles. and
Right.
robots.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put the 3 columns in the order based on the deciduous trees in this region.
You know, we're regular cops. We scratch playing card decals under all of our locks for certain keys that we have. You know, like 1920s hotels. Here's a spade key.
I got to that same place, and that I didn't stop playing because I was having no fun. Because I actually did have a little fun with this one, but I just ran out of time. But that was tough.
I agree with you. I didn't hate it. I expected to hate it, like sitting down Demolition Man or Cliffhanger and just not have any fun with it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I didn't have a blast, but I didn't think it was bad.
I
either.
agree. That's
Yeah.
100% the way I feel.
I think this was a nice, I went into this game with such low expectations.
Because of all of the ones we've played recently.
That and the fact that it's called RoboCop versus the Terminator.
Yeah.
Like those 2 factors together was like, oh boy.
See,
Buckle up.
2 movies.
I
All
think
right.
they made some. I think I've got actually kind of a decent list of good things about this game, and I think one of the best things about it is I feel like they really did put some effort into this because because it was like immediately RoboCop versus Terminator. They're like, wait, just watch. And I think my list of good things is this. First of all, I did like the fact that it was simple to pick up and play. There
Yeah.
was no complex mechanics
There really
in the
isn't.
game.
There's
It's
a
just
fucking
a
jump button and a shoot
jump
button.
and a shoot.
This is a
and
run and gun video game, by the way.
Yeah, it is. and a button to switch
This
between
is
the
an
2
intense
weapons
puzzle
you're carrying.
platformer. Dating sim. RoboCop versus Terminator.
That'd be pretty good. So wait, did you say there's a button to switch between your weapons?
Yeah.
Yep.
What was it?
It was B.
Boy, because I was just
Well,
like,
whatever B is on the Nintendo control.
You switch between the 2.
the far right on the far right button.
A. The bottom far right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nintendo puts the B before the A.
Okay, right. Xbox.
Because they do it.
You know where the B button is on an Xbox controller?
Yes, I do.
That button.
That one. Okay.
is how you
Gotcha.
switch weapons.
Okay. Yeah,
It
man.
was either that or Y. It might have been Y or X, depending on which
couldn't figure it out.
The top
And you know
button.
what? I feel like my experience wouldn't have changed.
You
a
didn't
whole
really
lot.
need it because the pistol is powerful
And it can be
It
upgraded.
can be upgraded, and so I put that the controls are easy to understand, and it didn't feel too clunky to me. I thought the level design was challenging but not impossible.
Yeah.
It was fairly easy to follow. I liked that there was no ammo limit and that you could just hold the fire button down and just go fucking crazy without having to manage ammo or do anything like that.
It was nice that it wasn't like a shitty pistol and you find any other weapon that had like 5 shots on it.
Right.
You know, like you pick up that fucking rocket gun and you got that fucking rocket gun until you
got
destroy
it
the
until-
other
yes,
robot and get
exactly.
its gun.
One of the other things I liked about this game, and this kind of goes to the graphics. I'm not going to just say that it had good graphics, but I think that it did have good graphics.
I do too.
I thought the pixels, I thought RoboCop looked like RoboCop.
Yep.
Terminator looked like Terminator.
Yep.
They put a lot of thought into the Ed 109 or whatever, the robot.
Yeah.
It was a little small,
Yeah.
but it had to be just because.
Sure.
But it was well animated. It felt like you're looking at the one from the movie.
Yep.
It was, and like in the RoboCop, the movie, of course, that thing was all done in stop motion,
Right.
so it has kind of a weird, clunky movement to
Yeah,
it.
the way you destroy the top of it and the legs just lurch at you.
Yeah,
And shit.
yeah. And I thought that one of the best parts, though, of the graphical presentation to me was in that first level. In the background, you see Flo stalking you
From the rooftops.
from
Yeah, I
the rooftops
thought that was
way
cool,
in the
too.
back, and you'll see her fire a weapon at you from time to time. But
Oh,
some-
I died whenever I was just walking and suddenly the sidewalk blows out from underneath
Right.
me and I fall in a pit and I'm dead.
Yeah.
I thought
'Cause
that
she
was
fired it from the background. Yeah.
I thought that was really neat
Yeah.
and kind of creepy. You'd look up and see her run and
Yep.
hide, and the fact that they would have like some of the enemies hiding in the shadows
Yeah.
behind the buildings that would pop out and shoot at you.
What's that game?
I know, right?
Blackthorn.
Blackthorn. So metal.
Okay.
Yeah, Blackthorn. So metal.
I thought just everything about this game graphically, I thought some of the like level elements were a little bit like power-ups for weapons were a little small, or it wasn't
Lacking,
like you would have like if you would kill a guy and he would leave like the big weapon behind the Ed 109 gun.
Yeah.
It might be behind something and you didn't know it was there. You could miss it. And some of the like health just looks like little gray squares that are the same squares that are up in your health bar at the
Right,
top.
right.
They were easy to miss.
Yeah.
And the big ones would refill your health all the way.
Right. Something that I found confusing, since you're talking about power-ups, is I would find a RoboCop head power-up, and I'm like, 1-up! It's not.
Oh, it's not? I didn't know that.
Nah, it just makes you invincible for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
God.
That is misleading. I thought the same thing. I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna get an
That
extra life.
sucks.
Yeah, I know. That's bad. That's bad design.
Make it a battery. I don't know.
Something.
Not
Not-
the one-up icon
Right.
that's universally known.
right.
I liked the little comic book panels between levels.
I did too, even though I thought that it was slow.
You could push buttons to get through.
I was afraid to. Because I was like,
I-
oh, if I push it, it's going to like skip it.
Same,
Yeah.
and it got so slow.
It's so slow.
that I was like, no, fuck it, I don't care if I miss. And then it started going
Well,
faster. I'm
that's
like,
why
okay.
I would click
now.
through and then didn't know that you couldn't kill the Terminators on that
Right.
level. So, and just turned off the fucking game.
But that was neat, and I thought, obviously, this was a comic book, and
Right,
so they wanted to lean into that, and I thought that was a nice touch.
Because it looks like it.
It
Yeah.
really looks like comic panels. It uses a comic font,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. And then I did like also that you get to keep your weapons between levels. If you leave a level with a rocket gun, you start the next level with a rocket gun.
Yeah, that's
And that when they had the health, they would regenerate your health before a big level. Like when you would go into a level, you'd leave a level with 1 health because it's kind of a brutal game in some places. When you come in and the next thing you have
I-beams
to
are
do,
falling on your head.
the next thing you have to do is fight a fucking Terminator they're generous and regenerate all your health before you fight the Terminator, so you don't. And I at one point I wanted to progress, so I save stated a lot, and it was nice to be able to get that health bump, because I will save state and then I will go until I've made it through, but I won't revert to a save state. I would rather progress than have health, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily go back to a save state if I finish a level with low health. So sometimes I would start a boss fight with no health, and it would suck.
Yeah.
But in this case, they didn't do that. They would, unless the boss occurred naturally in the level. If you leave a level, when you come into the next level, your health's back up to full, which I love that. I love that as a
I like that you could
thing.
shoot bullets and projectiles out of the air to not hurt you.
Yeah.
I do too. I've always liked that fact when you've got a game where you can actually have some effect on the projectile.
And I think this game needed that
It
because
really
RoboCop
did.
is slow. So it's like if you couldn't do that, holy shit, you definitely need some kind of shield mechanic.
Especially like the fucking Gallic guns that would come up
Yeah,
out of the
the
ground.
Gatling
Like
guns,
you'd
yeah.
have, I mean, if you didn't sit there and shoot all the bullets from getting you.
Yeah,
Man.
and you could fight a Terminator a lot easier when your guns are lined up and you just lay into him and his projectiles are getting hit and you're not dying. That was nice. Some of those bullets that the enemies would fire at you, they're really slow moving.
They're like the Moon or Night bullets.
yeah.
They're really slow moving, and it's almost worse when they're that slow. If you don't shoot them, they almost always go at an angle that you're gonna fucking get hit.
Right.
If you don't shoot them or whatever. So it was an interesting and challenging bit for me that I never saw that before, that the bullets just are basically floating in your direction.
Yep.
It's weird. But you can shoot them.
It's like Rookie of the Year. They're just throwing the floaters at you where they're just gray balls arcing over at you.
That hurt a lot.
Yeah. I thought so you're talking about fighting the Terminator and like being able to shoot the bullets out of the air. I like this game, but I like took full advantage of the AI not being super smart.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I cheesed so many like that first Terminator boss fight.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I'm gonna get up. This motherfucker doesn't know how to get off a ladder. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, if I stay in this spot,
He can't.
motherfucker does not know how to get off a ladder.
Yeah.
Can't
And he
get
also
me.
can't shoot me at the angle he's at. So
Can't shoot straight down.
just like lay into him.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this guy's tough. It's a good thing I'm cheesing him.
A lot. Like another thing that contributed to how slow it was how long it took to kill
They're bullet
a
sponges,
basic
man.
Terminator. Yeah.
And it's like not even.
and there's no energy bar. There's no way.
Yeah,
of
you don't.
telling how
That's
close
on my
you
bad
are.
things list. Is like you don't know how much progress you're making against
If it would
enemies.
flash or
Anything
something,
would
but
be better
you
than
get
that.
Nothing.
I felt like there were a bunch of, since we're talking about the bosses, difficulty spikes. Like noticeably, it was weird, man, because like I feel like the game starts out, it's pretty easy, and then all of a sudden, that ED-209 fight is like, what the fuck, man?
tough.
It's just like, and it's not even. It's challenging in the way where it's like, this thing is. Am I supposed to die here? Like, is this like a story thing? Does the ED-209 win? And it's like, no, it doesn't. You just gotta fucking pump it full of so many goddamn bullets.
I have a comment about that.
Okay, please.
Oh, well, it's actually a part of my achievements.
Oh, okay.
So when we get
Okay.
to that part, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, because I definitely want to hear more about that because I mean, it's like, and
Well,
then
I can tell you this. I can tell you.
Okay.
Because I was gonna have to explain it for the achievement anyway.
Sure.
But when I fought that Ed 209 thing, I had to go back to him a lot because he's tough.
Yeah,
and
me
you,
too.
You shoot at him in 3 stages, right? You knock his gun off of
Right.
him, and then you can pick up his gun
Right.
and use it against him, and then you
Right.
knock the top half off, like you mentioned, Tyler. And once you do that, the legs come for you. I managed to get behind him, and that's really not easy to do. I think I glitched behind him.
Use some like invincibility
And-
frames.
well, sort of. And yeah, I unloaded on him. And then at the exact moment I was shooting at the legs, and so there's it's weird when RoboCop dies for whatever reason. He will, when his energy is depleted, he will stand up,
right,
and then fall dead.
Yeah, so he's knocked over typically.
He's like he'll get knocked over.
I know, from poison. That's what I thought of when it happened, man. Because it's like every time I die, RoboCop, like you said,
he'll
takes
stand
the effort
up.
to stand up.
In that moment,
I will die on my feet.
in that moment, RoboCop is still alive, regardless of the fact that he has no health. It's a thing that's wrong with the game, because what happened to me was I got behind, I was dead. I shot the legs though enough times
that it was dying
to kill the legs. So in the same, I killed the legs at the exact same moment that it killed me, but I stood up. And then before I hit the ground, the level completed and it moved me forward.
Zone.
It was a 1 in a billion moment.
That's some NES shit.
It
right
really
there.
is. Because I was like, fuck, I didn't want to do it again. And then it progressed to the next level. I was like, yes. Gotcha.
I felt like that was a big difficulty spike, because I feel like up until then it was easy. It was kind of breezy.
Yeah, it was. You just shoot ahead. You can shoot. Bullets will go off screen and shoot at enemies and hit them when they're not even on screen.
Yeah.
So you could walk through an entire section if you were shooting in the right places. You'd not ever see an enemy.
Or you could just avoid them a lot of times too.
Yeah. A lot of levels in the high-low levels that you could walk past enemies and they don't always shoot at you.
Yep.
If you're not on their level.
And then I feel like it was even keel again up until I first met a Terminator. And then it was like, oh, here's another difficulty spike where it's like, holy shit, how many times do I have to shoot this thing? It's cool because it's a Terminator. I get it, like it should be tough. But it's like one of those things where it's like, man, it'd be nice if this was like, it gradually got more difficult instead of being like, hey, this is pretty breezy. Fuck you.
And then,
this is pretty breezy.
Easy.
Fuck you. It's like period. It's like exclamation points or periods. It's punctuation. And then it's like, and then I felt like it was pretty breezy again up until RoboCop goes into the future and fights a bunch of Terminators, where it was like, holy shit, now they're everywhere. Also, there are Terminator dogs that just run in real fast from the side of the
Doginators.
street. Yeah.
Did they have little radar dishes on their heads?
Right.
I thought it was weird that, and I played this game for like a couple of hours, but there was a lot of die, rinse, repeat type of thing, but I thought that the first level, being most of like 70% of the baddies in the first level were women.
Yeah,
which is really weird to see, like mostly women antagonists.
It's lazy because
they were just reusing the same.
Yeah,
and until you get about most of the way through that first level, and then there's another woman who looks like she's wearing like a bikini. I couldn't tell. That was kind of like hard to see. She's in the shadows, but I think she was wearing like a red bikini. It was weird.
That fits the RoboCop vibe.
It does fit the RoboCop vibe. It was just weird.
Yeah, I thought that struck me as odd as well because and I think it's a lot of because like the sound design, because it's like as I'm playing the game, it's just a bunch of It's like, man, I'm fucking killed a whole bunch of women. It's RoboCop.
This is a very misogynist game.
I'm not sure they didn't want you to show you shooting all these dicks off, so it's all women,
right? There needs to be a ROM hack where it's like you just shoot
dicks off
flying
everywhere, and they pile up.
Yeah, and then you have to fight them.
Yeah, pile o dicks.
You'd rather fight a horse-sized penis or 100 duck-sized penises.
What's the thing in Castlevania that's all the corpses put to a grand falloon?
Grand falloon,
a grand dacoon. Just all the dicks you shot off.
This game reminded me of Super Star Wars.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a good comparison.
I could see that actually.
There is the level with all the conveyor belts that might have been the Cyberdyne facility. I don't remember exactly what it was, but that reminded me specifically of that's the moment where I was like, "This is a sandcrawler." Also,
that huge, giant monolith sandcrawler from the movies,
the
right?
one with 800 floors.
Yeah.
That sandcrawler.
I remember that because I've played the game, but not seen the movie.
You're good to go.
So I can't wait for Luke to spend an hour in this giant machine.
The conveyor belts reminded me of that, but also it was like in Super Star Wars, you could upgrade your blaster.
Yeah.
And in RoboCop versus Terminator, you can upgrade your pistol.
That is an excellent comparison. This game is a whole lot like Super Star Wars now that you mention it. I would never have made that connection, but yeah, you're right.
It's not doing as much, but it's, it definitely reminded me of that.
Yeah. And I touched on some bad stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Just
now think about RoboCop versus Darth Vader, or RoboCop flies through space for 1 million years and eventually lands on Tatooine, and they restored the droid, and now he has to fight Darth Vader.
well, everything that went wrong in the Star Wars universe was in fact RoboCop's fault.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I got an idea.
This droid's got a bad motivator and also shot my dick off. Lobot versus RoboCop.
Lobot would just make some silent command and lock the city down and trap RoboCop inside.
Yeah, it would have to take place in Bespin. There's no other way. Because I'm sorry, RoboCop versus Vader isn't even that's not even a fight.
Nah, it's really not.
Neither. Now
I don't know. RoboCop uses projectile weapons though, and not lasers.
Yeah, but I still feel like Vader could fucking force deflect those with his hand.
Yeah.
Until he gets
Like
the
Neo in
Mandalorian
the
armor
Matrix.
upgrade. You've got Mandalorian Cop.
Ooh, that is true.
Now Boba Fett versus RoboCop.
Now I feel like
That would be a more fair matchup.
But then halfway through the battle, they're like, we got to take out this IG-88 guy, right?
Yes.
And they team up. And
because he looks a lot like Terminators, which I caused. I don't like that you have to start the level over when you die. I've never liked that. And of course, Tyler, you touched on this. The gameplay is repetitive. It's not. There's not a lot of variation. It's run and gun, shoot 'em up, and navigating the level to me was the most fun.
Saunter about and shoot.
Yeah. And I liked the grappling parts where you'd have to hang on a wire. There was one where you got to hang off different levels of pipes while there's fire going.
And I think it handled it way better than Demolition Man.
Absolutely
Demolition
agree.
Man did that too.
And there was it was challenging, but it was doable. It was a section I could get through a section and feel, I'd die a couple times or whatever, but I'd feel satisfied. I'd be like, that was fun. That was, again, challenging enough to be fun, but not fucking impossible. It was. I think they gave some thought to that stuff.
And I like the level design too. I mean, there's some verticality to it, which I thought was interesting. Like, I know the construction site, those falling I-beams are annoying, but I mean...
But they give you a way out because when they fall, there's a gap in between them.
And you can shoot them, which I thought was cool.
And you can shoot them, yeah.
And it only takes
you
one
shoot
bullet.
everything, which is what how it should be.
Yes.
You can just destroy everything.
I like RoboCop's holster his pistol animation you get at the end of a level. I mean,
they really put a lot of that in there.
Yeah.
And when RoboCop is walking with his pistol extended, he looks like he does in the movie. They got that shit on lock, and those are the little. The game can be fair to middling, but have neat, good, believable, accurate, motion and animation and graphics, and that goes a long way for me.
Yep. Yeah,
when it just looks like shit and it's a bad game, then it's just bad all the way around.
RoboCop is hard to translate into a video game. Just the way he moves, and I don't know, it doesn't lend itself to a quality action controlling experience if it's film accurate.
Right. Yeah.
So they were playing with a big penalty already.
Sure.
I like that there was a password save system. I love it when games have that.
And you can. There's also cheat codes.
Yep, and there's
Tons of
options. You can play it in mono or stereo if you wanted to.
Yeah.
My favorite option. If it's not there, I don't even play.
Not bright.
I need that choice.
It reminded me. I know.
Sometimes I'm playing it with the sound coming out of my 1973 FM radio.
You too?
And stereo just doesn't work for that. I need that to be in mono.
No. This started out as a joke, but however, when like streaming stuff, it's like, oh yeah, mono.
Yeah,
for sure,
right,
100%.
for sure.
Like, mono.
That is a good option in that case. I get you.
I know I mentioned earlier it reminded me of Super Star Wars, but another game that it reminded me of is Jurassic Park 2, The Chaos Continues on Super NES, because that's also a run and gun, but not a super great one. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a middling run and gun that's based on an existing popular property.
Right.
So I got vibes from that as well. So if any of those like strikes a chord with the audience, I don't know, man. Maybe check out RoboCop versus.
This is not. I'm not gonna. I would recommend you give it a shot. I would. I think it's worth a playthrough.
It's not as bad as everyone said it is.
I would have written it off completely, and I'd heard before we played this. I think even on last episode, I was like, I've heard it's pretty notorious.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that the people that say
Last Action Hero is notorious and lived up to it.
Last Action Hero,
this game
horrible.
was better.
This game was prefaced by a lot of really shitty games for us, and I think we all went in with, those goggles on of this is going to be bad, just like all the others. And I mean, maybe if we'd have played this one first, we'd have been like, holy shit, this one's kind of bad. But I think we still would have gone back and said, actually, this is better than this, and this is better than that.
I think this is the best Super Nintendo game that I have played for the show in 2 months.
Easily.
Since True Lies.
Since True Lies, yeah.
That's probably accurate.
Ooh,
yeah.
boy.
We've done a lot of bad ones, and
Wow.
so it was refreshing. Again, it was like I put in a quarter, I just went in and shot at stuff and played and had a good time with it and then put it away. And I liked it for that reason.
Same.
Is it the best Terminator game we've played so far?
Yes, it's the best
Easily.
Terminator game that I played so far
Easily.
for the show. I like the T2 arcade game.
Yes.
The actual light gun.
Oh, that's a great game.
But Super NES port, no.
Yeah.
Well, buy, rent, birthday. I mean, Dave, you said rent.
I did say rent, although honestly, I mean,
I'd buy it.
I would buy it.
I would have liked to have had this one. I think it's a good one to come back to.
Yeah.
I think I'm not going to call it necessarily replay value because I don't think there's much value in
Unless
the
you're
replay.
just showing it to somebody.
But if you want to play something easy again, just to shoot at stuff, or I liked this game, I want to play through it again. I think it's worth having. I don't think, and it's definitely not the shit show that everyone made it out to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, this was a rare buy.
I would have had fun with this with Josh over a weekend. We would have fun mapping it out and figure where we needed to go, but then I wouldn't have wanted to play it by myself after that.
Yeah.
So.
2-player component here would have been nice as well. If it were possible, that would be neat. I don't know. Maybe have you play as the partner, the RoboCop's partner from the movie, Murphy. No, that's his name.
I can't remember the name.
Anyway.
Honestly, I mean, it'd be great to play as Arnold.
Yeah, you could flip it and play as Terminator.
Yeah. T2 Arnold.
Yeah.
Not T1.
Right.
Yeah, man. You talking about potentially playing it with Josh over a weekend, Tyler. Like, and Ian, talking about in the level design. Like, it reminded me that I had a lot of fun. Like, I would see a power up and be like, "Ooh,
how do you get to that?
How do you get to that?"
Yes,
and then it's like
had a lot of Metroidvania kind of vibe going.
But babies first. I kind of felt like because it wasn't like the solution was never so convoluted that I would get like frustrated or lose interest.
Right.
It's much more straightforward, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna die, obviously. So the next time I come through here, I'll look for a way to get there. And I also felt like I wasn't running out of lives. I would die a lot, but I wasn't running out of lives a whole lot because I would get one-ups and stuff, and it would keep me in the game, and I liked that. So it's like
it was paced well in that way.
In that
You're
regard,
absolutely right.
I felt like it was. It was like even when I was like dying, it was just okay. I'm dying a lot, but I'm just treading water.
And and that was also something that I didn't get frustrated dying because I felt that the goal I was pushing towards was achievable.
Yeah, same.
I felt like this was a doable, the boss fights especially, particularly, they were doable and they were achievable. And it was like, oh, okay, I know what I need to do next time.
Right.
And that, to me, marks a good game when they make it something that's like you can see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel of like, okay, yes, I can do this. I will immediately know. I will nope out of a fucking game when I know this is not something I can do.
Right.
Well, I know I'm going to get mad at this and I don't want to, so I'm not going to try.
And I think they do. I think a lot of that, honestly, for me at least, comes from the fact that the levels are short. I mean, one thing they do, and also extremely different from one another.
That is very
I loved
true.
that.
Yeah,
like the
that is
variety.
very true.
It wasn't like cliffhanger or like a lot of the games that we've been playing recently where it's like, all right, so the next level looks exactly the same as the last level. In this game, you're moving from location to location, with the exception of like the very beginning. You do like the first
couple of the
two
same
levels
type of levels.
Yeah.
Because that's just one big facility that they have graciously broken up into two. So you get a break, you get a rest, you get a moment, you get a recharge, a checkpoint. Yeah, exactly.
Top 100, bottom 100. Where would you guys think you put it?
This is a middling game for me. I think I would put it probably in the 300s somewhere.
I
That's
agree.
fair,
Low 200s maybe.
I
mean,
think
somewhere
I
in there.
think
the amount
low
of shit compared to
200s.
quality that we've come across, it might be in the 200s.
Yeah, I think it's a worthy addition in the upper part of that scale because, again, it was refreshing to play something that just was a fucking video game for the sake of being a video game that you could see that someone cared about.
Someone cared about it. Yeah. Totally.
They wanted this to be quality.
Right.
And I think they achieved it.
It felt to me like this game was designed from a pre-existing property. And I mean that because it's like you hear something like that and you're like, well, duh, obviously.
Right.
But we played so many games where it's like, clearly this game was designed without the property in mind, and then they switched out some assets and they're like, it's Demolition Man, guys.
Right.
Look, that's John Spartan. This game is like the opposite of that, where they're
Look,
like,
it's Cliffhanger running around.
right. Look at John Cliffhanger.
Look at little Cliffhanger hanging off a cliff.
Right.
Yeah, this was
Tailored
to the franchise that I admittedly didn't know really about at all.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I mean, I probably had heard of it, and I probably was like, meh.
Not me.
But
I didn't hear about it.
This game was crafted, not made. I think they really did sit down and say, I need this to look better. I need that to look good, and I want her in the background running.
Yeah.
It's odd to see a real animation happening in the background of a Super Nintendo game that is relevant. That adds to the ambiance of the game. That shit creeped me out.
I know, right?
I was like, God, that's her.
Yeah.
She's back there.
I know.
You know, it gave me the heebs, and I loved it. I thought that was a really neat thing.
Yep. You don't see. I can't name another Super Nintendo game that did that.
I can't either. And the thing
It's
too,
fucked up.
for me, it is fucked up that okay, now I know it's possible.
Right.
Why wasn't it done more?
Yeah.
Why would we not take that into consideration and do that more to make that interesting? Because it was for the first time I was really paying attention to that background.
And they do a
looking
good
at those
job of-
buildings and looking at her and being like, God, this is
But
neat.
you didn't play Jim Powers. Then you look at the fucking background.
I heard that one. I heard about
Ooh,
that
boy.
from somebody I know. But yeah, it was the more I talk about it, the more I like this game. I started off with I kind of like this game, but really the more I say, the more good comes out of my mouth about it. So for me, this is one of the better ones we've done in a while.
How much do you think you would pay for it if you were to buy it loose? How much do you think it would be?
I think, well, when we're just talking about a regular box copy, or are we talking about the enhanced plastic box?
Just a loose.
Just one you could buy anywhere.
Yep.
Chicken head of a copy.
Yep.
I'm going to put this one sort of high. I'm going to put this one at $38.
$38. Says Ian. What do you say, Tyler?
$17.50.
$17.50.
Shanty.
Actual retail value of RoboCop Versus The Terminator for the Super Nintendo, loose, on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $18.49.
Ooh, Tyler.
You were within $1. You're going to the Showcase
Going to the
Showdown.
Showcase Showdown, baby.
The RoboCop Showcase Showdown.
What do you guys think Flopsy has to say about RoboCop Versus The Terminator?
I would be disappointed if Flopsy didn't give this 3 stars.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 3 stars, and I think this was probably, I'm going to go with my gut here and say very uncommon.
You and I have exactly the same answer.
Okay.
What do you think, Tyler?
2 stars common.
2 stars.
Wow.
Common.
That is a divergence.
According to Flopsy, a.k.a. the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, 1991 through 1998, by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike, and a mysterious shadowy benefactor.
I see what you did there.
Flopsy, I was giving you the extra.
I know. I wish y'all could see this. He's giving me the full Vanna. Yeah.
3 stars.
Yes.
Come on.
Common.
3 stars. Come on. Come on.
Come on.
So we're all right.
Yeah.
We all had
We all
at
got
least part of it.
right.
We all got there.
As a team.
Yeah, at the
as it
same
should be.
time. Even
think
if some
it's-
of us finished multiple times, we all eventually got there at the same time.
I think
It was me.
I think Flopsy got it right this time.
Yeah.
3 stars is a good score for this game.
Yeah.
So good on you.
Did you guys have any achievements?
Got a couple.
Me too.
What you got, Ian?
Actually, I have 3. My first achievement is Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me. And to get Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me, defeat the ED 109, whatever, robot. At the exact same time he defeats you, but you get to move on because he dies just before you hit the floor. Relating to what I was talking about earlier. Get that extra frame of life. My next achievement is, now I am what you call a repeat offender. I repeat, I will offend again. I get my orders from a higher source. And to get this achievement, use the passcode to get 57 lives.
Nice.
There's a passcode to get 57 lives. It's a weird, odd number, but whatever. My next achievement is up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. And to get up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start, you stand on an elevator and push every button to try and figure out how to make it go up and down, and ultimately realize that simply pressing up or down makes the elevator go in that direction. And that is my last achievement.
Nice. I've got a couple. The first of which is RoboComptroller. In order to unlock RoboComptroller, while you're in the police station, and you interact with the computer to find out what's up with all these Terminators, and you trigger the trap that the Terminators have set by installing some malware on that computer that will then take RoboCop's brain and do stuff with it.
Right, like you do.
Question mark. Profit. While you're in there, you also look at the accounting information.
What's the name of that paradox? Because it's the same way Majora's Mask. Because no, not Majora's Mask, but Ocarina of Time, where you learn the Sun Song from this one guy. When you go back in time, you're the one that teaches it to him. So no one knows
Chicken
where
or the egg,
creates a
baby,
paradox.
Yeah, I don't know what that one's called.
If they trick you into installing the virus, but you had to install the virus in the first place, or uplink, yes.
And that is some real Terminator shit right there.
It is.
Some of these Terminator movies get fucking crazy with time travel. So that tracks.
Next achievement. I'd buy that for $1.
I was hoping somebody had that one.
I was worried we were all going
I
to
did
have
too.
it.
That's why I didn't do one.
I did it. I was like, fuck it.
Fuck it, why not?
Fuck it. In order to unlock, I'd buy that for $1. Find this game for $1 and buy it.
Okay. Did you have that achievement? Did you get it?
Not yet.
Yeah. There's
One
hope
day.
though.
I'd buy that for $18.49.
What you need to do is buy it now, and then in the future go back in time and sell it to yourself for $1 so that you can get the achievement.
Here's what I might actually do. Find a seller on eBay that has a make an offer. I'll offer him $1, and in the comment, I'll be like, in all caps, I'd buy that for $1.
See if they go for
And
it.
they might bite.
Just like, all right, you win.
They might
You
be
get
like, this guy, fine, $1, $25 shipping.
But yeah, you still get it. You still unlock it.
Next achievement I've got is the Incredible Edible Ed. In order to unlock the Incredible Edible Ed, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I wanted to say the Incredible Edible Ed because in middle school I had a friend named Ed, and that's when that commercial, the Incredible Edible Egg, was like real big. And boy, did we call him the Incredible Edible Ed a whole bunch.
You sang it right. The Incredible Edible Ed. Yeah.
He did not like it,
Yeah,
but
I
we
bet.
still did it, and it was okay because we were friends, and he knew that we loved him. It was one of those, but he'd let us know when it was enough.
Still, yeah.
He'd let us know.
Okay, guys, knock it
Right.
the fuck
okay.
off.
We're done for the day.
Yeah.
We'll resume tomorrow.
Same time tomorrow.
Right.
Fair enough.
In order to unlock the Incredible Edible Ed, you take Ed 209's gun.
Is
and
it
then,
209? I kept saying 109.
I think it's 209.
I think you're right.
I just did a cursory search.
Whatever.
though. I don't know.
Whatever.
I'm not a.
We know who you're talking about.
I like RoboCop the movie, but I've only seen it like 3 times. You know what I mean? I'm not like an expert.
Don't watch it again.
Man, really?
It doesn't hold up very well.
Yeah.
I will rewatch it.
I think I would
Whenever.
be okay. Because RoboCop, I saw RoboCop late in life anyway.
Okay. Then
so
you're
it's
fine.
not like, yeah.
You're fine.
RoboCop was one of those movies that my parents would not let me watch when I was.
There's a
I guess
good fucking reason for that. It's
Yeah.
one of the worst, like, for violence and language, and it's a bad one.
I like the.
But I like it.
I like it a lot.
A
I
lot.
especially like it because I like the underlying
So,
commentary.
That, and there's so many good one-liners in that fucking
for
movie.
sure.
Jesus, it's full of them.
I have not seen RoboCop 2, nor have I seen RoboCop 3, nor have I seen the RoboCop reboot.
New
The reboot was okay. I liked it.
People were mad that he was not Chrome. I remember that. That's all I know about
I
it.
liked his matte finish.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
And he was black too, right? Not.
Yeah, it was like a
silver.
gunmetal.
Yeah.
Chrome, not chrome.
It makes
but yeah.
sense.
It really does.
Unless it's like, I don't know if the reboot was set in the 80s or 90s.
No, it was.
If it's set in like modern,
it was
times,
in
it
the
makes
was in the
sense that he's-
future, like so was RoboCop, but you
Right.
know,
Yeah, that's a good point.
even though
though
it's just the '80s view of the future, or the whatever
Retrofuturism.
Yeah, '90s view of the future.
last achievement I have is, we're not gonna make it, are we?
Wait, What was the one for the Incredible Edible Ed?
You take Ed 209's machine gun and then kill it with its own gun.
Okay.
And then you eat
I
it or
cut you
something.
off. You never got to finish.
No worries. I finished plenty of times earlier. The last achievement is we're not going to make it, are we? Humans, I mean. In order to unlock, we're not going to make it, are we? Humans, I mean. You game over.
Game over, man.
Sometimes I just come up with what the achievement title is and then give up.
Then give up. Yeah.
That's what happened this week.
Yeah, you just get the game over screen. That's what
Yep.
happens, yeah. I had two. The first one being, you really licked her ass. And you killed 10 women without getting hit.
I like the tie-in.
Yeah, I
I
did
like
too.
the tie-in. That's good shit.
My second one is, what's the difference between your mom and a washing machine? I can dump a load in a washing machine or it doesn't follow me around for a week. And you unlock, what's the difference between your mom and a washing machine? I can dump a load in a washing machine, doesn't follow me around for a week. Is you dump all your bullets into ED-209 and kill him.
All
Kill
right.
it.
Good.
Nice.
We all did our part this week.
We did.
I had answers for everything today.
Yes. Wow. I'm impressed.
I am too.
We did a good job.
We did a
This is a
full boat
Good
today.
podcast.
It is a good podcast. We could keep doing it.
If we wanted.
Today was the deciding factor. If it didn't come out good, I was
Friendship
going to
contract
walk.
day's coming up. It's November.
I mean, we haven't re-signed that motherfucker in like 3 years. But you're right. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a beard, sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
I would give it the strong brown goatee of one Zangief
Oh,
because he's big and tough and slow,
yes.
All right.
like RoboCop,
Zangief versus
but is not
RoboCop.
without his charm.
No, he's definitely not without his charm. Favorite Soviet.
Did he land on the moon first?
He threw someone on the moon.
He just chucked them up there.
Yes.
Says all
Like
kinds of-
Hercules throwing a bear.
The
in
bear
space.
to the moon.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out. It's a Hercules movie, but Zangief plays Hercules.
I'm down.
Comrade.
Zangief.
It writes itself.
It does.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would it be?
I would give it the glasses of Winobot.
Ah,
If you've seen Wonder Chosen,
Yes.
there was a cartoon
great
segment
show.
in there.
great show.
Great show. Called Winobot, which had the same basic premise as RoboCop, only in the alley where the cop dies, there was also a wino going through the trash, and they accidentally
Yes.
rebuilt the wino instead
yes,
of
I
cop.
forgot about this.
And it's Winobot.
Yes, fucking love it, man. Man, I love that. God damn it, I haven't seen that show since Diablo 3 came out, and we watched a shitload of it.
Yeah.
And you talking about a goatee or, like the Zangief facial hair made me think about a part in this game that literally made me laugh out loud. And I'm sure it was I'm sure it was lifted straight from the comic book. I shouldn't say I'm sure, but I would bet that it was. It's how they explain that RoboCop has a human face in the future, because the way he gets to the future is time just happens. It's not like he time travels into the future. He time travels into the future the same way we're traveling to the future right now, which is just like second to second, minute to minute. RoboCop's just in fucking the computer, just hanging out, and then all of a sudden, like, he's like, okay, now I can rebuild my body. And he starts rebuilding his body out of like Terminator parts. That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
I think that's neat. I like that. But then I'm assuming Frank Miller has to be like, shit, he's not RoboCop unless he has half a human face. Okay, he puts a face on himself for vanity. That's, and I laughed out loud. That RoboCop is, fucking essentially in hell until the future happens. You know what I mean? And he's like, build this fucking body. You know what? I'm gonna put my face back. I think.
I gave this a lot of thought.
I'm gonna staple this corpse's face to the bottom of mine.
He's in the computer. The moment I get out of there and rebuild my body and put my face on, I'm gonna make those Terminators fucking pay.
You know, I deserve a little something. I deserve a little treat.
That's right.
RoboCop
A little something for me. A little something for me.
Please.
How about? I think I'm gonna have a face.
How about half my face?
Just half? Just one half a face. Just one little bite.
Plenty of corpses to pull it from.
Yeah, they're everywhere. He's not gonna miss it.
They are a dime a dozen. We had talked about next week doing RoboCop 3 for the Super Nintendo. How are we feeling about that?
It's gonna make next week's group of achievements tougher.
You are correct.
But
however,
we
I
can
get to
do it.
watch RoboCop 3. And I might not watch RoboCop 2. I might just do RoboCop 3.
Just apropos of nothing.
Just because I don't want to watch 2 movies.
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen.
If you're gonna watch 2 movies, watch RoboCop 3 and either Violent Night or The Menu.
Or the menu, yeah.
You know,
I've seen
or
bits
all
and
3.
pieces of 1 and 2, so I'd have to just watch 3 out the gate.
I know I've seen 1 and 2.
Because I also don't want to watch 3 movies.
I can't remember if I've seen 3. I'd have to start watching it to know.
I only
Yeah, we
have 2
can do
days
it.
at work to watch these. So
I've got too much at home time. I don't have time to watch movies. I'm going to be at home.
Well, that's kind of how I am with The Gunslinger. Because listening with an earbud in at work is like, it's so much easier to do that at work than it is to do at home.
Yeah, I only listen to it in my car
And I need the visual element for movies
or at the grocery.
and at work. So it's tough for me to split it. But audio, I can split. It's all good.
Yeah, we can do RoboCop 3. Why not?
RoboCop 3.
It's part of the. It's a game. We have to do them. So let's just do it.
All right. RoboCop 3 next
right.
week.
I love this whole theme of movie/game.
I do too,
going.
although I'd want to take a break from it
Never?
after
Cool.
RoboCop 3. just a little bit. Because I felt...
Can we do Flipwitch, the Forbidden Sex Hex?
Sure. I think it'd be a good Patreon.
Yeah. We keep talking about all this
I know,
Patreon.
it's not going to happen.
We're not going to do it.
The listener knows it. It's fine.
But I want to do these things.
I do too.
But we have to do 2 recordings in a week.
It's hard to do.
It is hard to do.
Unless we do a double up. Unless we do one like we did a couple weeks ago where we record the regular episode and then
Right.
do a Patreon.
And then we're going to end up with a watered down product one way or the other. I feel like that's my
just
concern
kind of
about
on brand, right? So it's
Yeah.
just
It stings, but it's true.
had to go there, didn't you?
But I was kind of honestly stressing out a little bit this week because I felt the pressure to rewatch Terminator and rewatch RoboCop, and I didn't do it.
I thought about it too because I haven't.
And I didn't do it, and it was, I don't know, because of that, I kind of felt like, I've been enjoying watching all these movies, but it's to the point where it's like, fuck, because of this week particularly, it's like, man, it kind of feels like work a little bit.
I just wonder how many more movie games there are to do.
Probably a shit ton. Right?
There's Alien versus Predator.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that's technically, that came out way before the movie.
The comic.
The game
The
did.
game did.
Yeah.
An American Tail, Fievel Goes West.
I think it would be
Yuck.
I think it would be interesting to do Alien versus Predator if the game did come out way before the movie. I would like to see how the game compares to the movie when in a situation where we have a game based on a comic book that was ultimately made into what I consider to be a really good movie.
Well, how about this?
Batman Returns.
Ooh.
What if we do every Super Nintendo game that has Versus in the title? That could be the next series.
Oh.
Might be a lot of sports games, unfortunately. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But we could do a series like that.
Okay.
It's Stallone's Giving. We could do Tadpog versus Christmas.
Ooh, I like it.
That's controversial. We probably shouldn't do that.
But not until after we do RoboCop 3, or do you want to start doing the versus thing now and then come back to RoboCop
The
later?
Blues
Up to you
Brothers.
That is a
Versus
horrible
who?
game.
Oh,
That's just a movie tie-in.
Yeah.
Blues Brothers
Versus the Griswolds.
Bulls versus Blazers.
You.
There we go. So RoboCop 3 then?
RoboCop 3,
All right.
and then we'll talk about picking up the Versus
Table the
series.
versus.
Casper.
This is
Casper, yes.
This is a prequel to. This is a preamble, I should say, to the Versus series. The RoboCop versus Terminator is the preamble to our Versus Christmas Tadpog versus Christmas.
Right. Or we could do Tadpog versus 2024.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Here's what I think we should take bets. None of us have played RoboCop 3, correct?
Correct.
Do we think is RoboCop 3 going to be better or worse than RoboCop versus the Terminator?
Worse.
Worse.
I say worse as well.
We all are in agreement that it's going to be
Unanimous.
worse.
Hopefully we're proven wrong.
I agree because
Hopefully.
I got my sights. My expectations are a little bit higher because of this week's feature. So,
okay,
RoboCop 3 it is.
I guess we're done with the podcast.
Cool. See ya.
I don't think Tadpog versus 2024. 2 games so far.
Great. Well, it'd be a short series.
But I'm only in the G's.
Can you go to a list of Super Nintendo games and do a find VS?
I could probably.
Then we could close the show out.
I'll tell you what, I'll work on that now while you do that.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, Spotify, not Stitcher, pretty much all over the place. All sorts of stuff going on, but most importantly, we got to talk about that Patreon.
You know, it is the season of giving.
It is.
And if you want to exercise that wonderful charitable bone in your body.
God, I love a charitable bone.
A good charitable bone.
Fuck, man.
I'm tying my shoe.
It's not the best kind of bone, but it's all right.
It's a pretty good bone.
It's a pretty good bone. Look, we takes what we gets.
Agreed. But if you want to be charitable, you want to contribute to the spirit of giving that is so prevalent this time of year, you can do that by giving us money. And if you want to give us money, send a self-addressed stamped envelope. Oh, no, wait. You can go to patreon.com/tadpog or pisstasters.com.
Taste the piss.
And you can give us $1 or more if you'd like.
Or a copy of Uncle Buck.
VHS, Uncle Buck. VHS, Blu-ray, DVD. Uncle Buck is a great movie.
Laserdisc.
Yeah.
We'll take Laserdisc.
It's in
We
the
can't
Criterion
play it on
Collection, right?
anything, but we'll take it. We have bonus content there. We've been talking about some pretty cool bonus content that we're wanting to do. So, you know, maybe we will.
Don't get your hopes up.
But you won't know unless you donate. So, and yeah, you get in the door with $1. But if you really want to be special and stand out, you could donate $20 or more and become what we like to refer to as an executive producer.
That sounds important.
It is important, and it's so important that we take the time every week to read the names of our current executive producers. And once again, these are the fine folks that donate $20 or more to the show, and the list begins right now, as always, with Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, a Louisville correspondent, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage. If you ever wanted to meet Taryn, you can on Discord. We'll tell you how to get there in just a minute. Pinball Airplane Archmage Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, who you could also meet on the Discord if you wanted. Drinksmith Joy Webster and Derek Pope Sandwich. Thank you, everybody, for your generosity.
Yes.
Thanks to all of our donors. We're
Yes.
not. I don't want to make it seem like we don't appreciate our lower donors, because that's just as important.
Yep.
We couldn't do the show without you. It really helps a lot.
Yes, it does.
Thank you, Dane.
Thank you, Dane.
And that concludes this week's business.
I would say our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track you can find the show notes at tadpog.com. How you guys want to close it out?
As RoboCop or Terminator?
As RoboCop fighting a Terminator.
So until next time,
Tropical
Capricorn.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and is available wherever fine podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. We'll even play it on the show and respond eventually. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. Sick of us doing all the talking? You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/TADPOG Discord or tastethepiss.com. Not many things are truly free these days, but our Discord is, and we'd love to see you there. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive, and a link to that track can be found at the show notes at tadpog.com. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcasting platform. We'd really appreciate it.
Now for a dramatic reading. I came into this world as a reject. Look into these eyes, then you'll see the size of the flames. Dwelling in the past. It's burning up my brain. Everyone that has to learn from the pain. I think about the day my girlie ran away with my pay. When fellas came to play, and now she's stuck with my homies that she fucked. Now I'm just a sucker with a lump in my throat like a chump. Should I be feeling bad? Should I be feeling good? It's kind of sad in the life and stock of the neighborhood. And you would think that I'd be moving on. But I'm a sucker, like I said, fucked up in the head. And maybe she just made a mistake, and I should give her a break. My heart will ache either way. What the hell? What the hell do you want me to say? I won't lie. I can't deny. I did it all for the nookie. The nookie. So you can take that cookie and stick it up your yeah.
Mic drop.